All right, welcome guys, welcome. We're back with, of course, Age of Wonders 4. And we've set up a game yesterday playing as the Elven Queen. And the reason, any excuse to play this game, to be honest, but it's 50% off at the moment. The base game is 50% off. It's just loading in. It shouldn't take too long. But anyway, the base game is 50% off. The DLCs have also got some specials there as well. Part of the Paradox sale, which is currently on for the next week or so, I think. And so I thought, well, that's a good reason to play the game. And as I said before, any excuse. I love this game. Absolutely love it. So we set up a game, setting up some elves, feudal monarchy elves, and we sort of just hit a random world, and we've only found out two things about the world at this stage. One is its continents, so we've got continents we're playing on. And the second is we've got mega cities, so we only have one city. We don't develop any other cities in the game. So the city we're going to have is just going to be sort of very, very large. We've got one other elven. Oh, this is taking forever. I may have to close the program and start it again. I'll wait a little bit longer. It normally doesn't do this. I'll close it. Do it again. I don't know why it's been getting slower lately, and I don't understand why. I'll play the actual game. So it goes into my account, go play, and then I'll actually load it in from the game itself. That may be why it was taking a bit too long. I clicked on resume, and it shouldn't take too long, hopefully. But anyway, so we've got mega cities, which means we've only got one city. We've got a monarchy feudal system, which means that the queen, so we've sort of got like an elven queen that we had set up, and so anyone in her retinue, anyone in her actual stack, doesn't pay any upkeep at all, which means we can ultimately get some very, very big and powerful units and just load them into her group, and we pay no upkeep at all on those. So it sort of keeps things like it allows us to have a very, very powerful stack, and then the other stacks we do pay maintenance on. But it all helps, and it has helped us already. Here we go. So we now just go and continue and load in the actual game. That was much faster. All right, so what's happened is, let me do a very, very quick summary. So we've got our one city down through here. Now it was only 11 turns in, and we're already size 8. So, and we've started off at size 1. What we've been doing is I've been going into the city where when I've got like a lot of Imperium, I've been going in. You can see it's only 2 turns to get to the next one as well. I can actually go and spend another 30 and grab another one. I might as well keep on doing this. Unfortunately, every time we do it, the city stability is going down. So I do need to sort of be mindful of that. And also, when I've got enough money, I've also been pumping out the buildings. Now, we've only got one more turn until we get the castle. Now, I wonder if we shouldn't. So look and see what other things we can do. This is I'm sort of min-maxing at the moment, trying to establish our city as big as I possibly can, with as much income as I possibly can, early. So we've got the market, which is only 3 away. The shrine will give me. I've only got 18 mana. I'm going to need a lot more mana. The tavern. Here we go. This one is boosted. Now this one here is going to give me plus 20 stability income. This is going to round off everything that we need to have. So this unlocks the bathhouse. This is important. So I'm going to pay. This one's only 22 to rush this production. So let's go and do that. Then we'll grab the tavern, which we can afford. We've got 7 left now. So we'll sort of keep that one coming as well. So that's actually now. So our money is we're sort of rushing through the buildings, etc. This one here, as soon as I can afford to rush that one, I'll do that one as well. We've got 2 stacks down this way. We've got a stack. We're starting to build a second stack of just tier 1 units. In this case, we've just got the defender and the archer in this particular stack. And back over here with the queen stack, we've got 2 defenders, 2 archers, and a light spirit, a lesser light spirit. When we get to the next phase of being able to pick up the next of the of the tomes, we'll actually go with the tome that does give us more light spirits. So we'll sort of head that way, I think. We'll sort of be where we are. Hi, Heart of Mithril and Falcons. Hope you guys are doing well. So that's sort of where we are. Now we've been able to clear out pretty much everything along here so far, including there's actually an area down through here of some hasteberries, and so I do want to start to get these sorts of things into the realm. But at the moment, I'm really just focusing on growth. So we've got like a lot of. If I just go and click these on, so this is sort of what we currently have. I've pushed my border out this way towards this particular city, just so that this is going to be a vassal. But I don't want it encroaching into areas that I want to be growing into. And so I've taken this gold mine, even though I've left like the defenders there. I'm going to have to go back and finish them off. Yeah, there's nothing dramatically great down this way that we want to be getting, but certainly coming back out this other side, I would like to, well, definitely I'd like to be extending out and picking up some of the stuff from in here, for example. And it may be that we end up pushing that. So you can see this one's now extending out this way, and I'd like to try to sort of just keep it under control a little bit. Like if I get that one, I can then get that one, and then I can get those, and then that establishes that border. So that's probably the area that I want to be going into. So let's go and do that right now, because we can actually we can save 2 turns by spending 30. So we'll go that way, and we'll just go and pick up. And so I've been picking up either farms or foresters. I haven't really worried too much about the other things at this stage. I do have a bit of everything. Actually, from here I can actually go out and pick up this one immediately and build the conduit there. But I want to make sure that I get this inside my city. Means that I think I'll actually end up coming back up this way again. I'll grab another farm, and that way when we get the next one, I'll then take this, which then will give me these as well. So because we're playing with mega cities, I can keep on just snaking this one all over the place. Hi Sick, how you going? So that's sort of where we are. Now this is going to then, of course, make it so that we're now negative 15. So we're sort of, we do have to get on top of the stability with what we're doing. So 3 turns before we get the tavern. And this is sort of reducing the income that we have from our city. But anyway, that's just the way it's going at the moment. This one here can't move anywhere. And this one here has already sort of moved, but I don't want to be going in with just 1 unit. It's going to be fairly 50-50 at the moment, but I want to actually go in. This is actually going to be a harder fight than most of the others at this stage. What I can do is get ready up here. Do we want to do that? I don't see a reason not to. Let's just move up to there. So what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to bring this one up to here and attack, essentially. I can move that one up, attack, and then that one will still be within 4 of that one. So we'll end up still attacking with both groups. But then it means that this one I just have to move up 1. I can then attack this one with using this one to help, and then flip across this way and get this one as well. So it just means I can sort of take the three areas in one go. I'll end the turn. We haven't come across any of the enemies yet. The mode that we're playing is we're playing on hard mode, and we're playing with us versus a team of 2 versus another team of 2. So there's 5 players on the map. So there's 3 teams, 5 players, with us on our own. Constricting focus. We've now got this one through here. Select new research. And we still don't get what we needed. Now, Monarch's Decree. We've got Call to Glory. So this is a feudal monarchy spell. For 3 turns, all friendly units gain 5 morale at the start of your turn. It's not bad. Monarch's Decree is a combat enchantment as well. For 2 turns, all friendly units gain the benefit from for the Monarch as though the Monarch were present. Yeah, so we get that anyway because we're sort of fighting with the Monarch anyway. So I don't see that as being an important one. Let's just grab this one here. So we're just going that way. And I'll just turn these off. We don't need to be seeing that all the time. So it'll just move this one up. Now if I attack, I'm going in with both groups, and now we have a much bigger advantage. System Chalk is saying that's the spell where you yell, fight harder men, and everyone gets stronger. I'm not sure for the Monarch, we'll actually have this one coming in, kicking in here. What it does is it gives them 1 extra defense and 1 extra resistance, which can be useful now with the change in the game. Like the way that combat has changed, its resistance is now much more important than what it used to be. So you sort of do need to have more support units and things like that to be able to help with resistance. So anyway, let's go in and we'll do manual combat here. And then we'll just go through the different units that we're actually fighting against. This one won't be a terribly bad one for us, just because of the mix of forces that we end up having. So this, a few months ago, there was a change to the base game, and the base game actually changed the fighters. So you can see there we've got, on our side, we've got the stock standard icons, like archers, defenders, support, monarch, etc., etc. Back over here, hero, and again, defenders. So shield unit and an archer down through there. On the other side, we've got skirmishers. That's still the same, but these are now new. So this little symbol here indicates this is a magic fighter. And what that means is that if I go in and have a bit of a look at it, it's going to have an attack. This is a magic strike. And down the bottom there, you'll see that it's actually got a magic / base. And so it does 13 fire damage, but it's a magic strike. When we go in and have a look at, for example, our shield unit, we can see there that the shield unit, in fact, if I just go and click on this, so this is our Elven shield unit that we're using, and it's come in with Defend the Monarchy. So in this case, we do actually get plus 10% damage, plus 10% morale, and then we have the plus 1 defense and plus 1 resistance. So it's a nice little, it's a nice addition to what we can have. But when we've got it, we've got the, in this case, we've got very simply the defense. So defense reduces damage from melee and missile attacks. And if we have a look and see what they actually are. So melee attacks are short-range attacks performed with weapons such as swords, spears, and claws and teeth. They mostly do physical damage and are resisted by defense. And missile as well, essentially physical damage resisted by defense. Resistance now is different. So resistance, it used to be that any of those attacks the defense would actually defend against any of those. So resistance reduces damage from magic attacks and combat spells. So magic attacks are attacks performed with magical implements such as orbs and staves. Many of the special attacks that creatures have, such as dragon breath, and also considered magic attacks. Magic attacks are resisted by resistance. And so we are not very resistant against these sorts of attacks. So we have a bit of a problem in that sort of sense. And the native default for us for resistance is 0 for these units. But we have, like Defending the Monarchy, we've got that one in there, which gives us a plus 1. So we do 10% less damage against that particular attack. So we have to be careful of that one. So that's actually, that's sort of indicating that this is a magic fighter, and it uses... its main attack is going to be against resistance and not against the shielding, against just normal defense. So these guys here have got this is just a melee strike. So in this case, they just do physical damage with their strike, and they also then have a poison needle, which is also just a missile. You can see down the bottom there, it just sort of says missile base single shot, and so that's all they really have got there. There's a chance to do poisoning and things, but it's not. So these defend well against those, poorly against these. This one is a repeating attack that does a fair bit of damage actually. So the 13 that we sort of see there is going to it's going to cause some issues. So. And its range is it's a magic strike, so it does need to get in. So if I look at where it can move to there. It's only got 1 action point. These are the action points back over here, for example, and the different way things work. You can see there on on the little legend. It's the second one down is the one where it actually has the multiple hits, and then the next one it's action number 4, which is a special sort of magic action, is the top one there. So ability costs a single action point, but it then ends its turn afterwards. Thank you, Hydra Siege, for the subscription. That's very, very much appreciated. And so this one here is behind you. So this one, so the target sustains 20 fire damage. So this is a magic shot. It turns the target around 180 degrees, has their defense mode cancelled, and removes retaliation attacks unless the target has charge resistance. So this is actually something where, and this one is a range 4. So this one has got a range 4 attack. So we have to be a bit careful of that. We also are fighting in a special location, so this is going to be the Oh So Lucky. So every 2 turns, all defending units gain Rally and Fortune, so triggers in 1 turn. So they're going to end up being able to get more lucky hits than what we will. So that's sort of that's the parameters that we actually have. Now, our units that we have in through here, this is Rust and Forrester. This is our first actual Elven hero that's come in. And so he has got a melee strike, just a standard melee strike, but he also then has a javelin as well. So it throws a projectile at the target unit, and this is range 4. So I don't know if I want to be doing that just yet with the attack, so we'll just sort of wait where we are. So what I want to do is I want to bring in and sort of invite them in to get ready to do an attack. So let's just move it up. I don't think that they're going to come in and attack me. So that one there I've actually said, oh, you can come in and have 1 hit if you like. But I think that what they're more likely to do would be to move further up somewhere else and then use this attack in through here. So that's what I'm thinking will happen. The gremlins also have another mechanic about them as well. And so they've actually got... now, death casting is something we all have. So units grant their owner plus 10 casting combat points on death. That seems to be sort of like running through the world. So this will be something to do with the world that we haven't seen yet. So upon sustaining damage, this unit teleports to a location away from its enemies within 3 hexes. It works once per turn. So to kill these things, we have to chase them down. So they're actually a bit of a tricky one for us to sort of make good use of. I'm going to move this one up into this position and just get it ready, and I'm going to move the archer in behind as well. There's no area of effect attacks we have to worry ourselves with, so we're actually all okay there. This one here can move to there, and that one there can also just move to there. This one can only move to that location, so we'll go and do that. So start to bring them through. So I'm using these as a shield, In fact, they've got shield wall here, and you'll see there that when these are this has now got three defense. And so it's defending the monarchy, and through here again 1 defense, 1 resistance. But if I go to its resistance, so it's an elite unit, it gets +1. It's the initiative of the order, so I think, and defending the monarchy. So initiative of the order is where is that? This one will become cavalry if we end up with special mount traits. So that's good to know actually. Shield unit. I don't think we've got anything special there. This one is elite. So no, it's just working our way up. Defend the monarchy, back there for the monarch. While in combat, it's in its own domain or alongside their ruler. Yes, this one does gain, that's for the monarch there, and then defending the monarchy. It's already got that one through there. Where's that other one? Initiative order. I'm not sure where it's picking that one up from, to be honest. I can't see it anywhere. Anyway, I'll just have a look at the others. Does this one have it as well? Yeah, it looks like it does. These two, these are much more advanced. These are both elite units, but that's still not showing me where that's coming from. Let's get these archers ready. I'm going to move her out to the side. That big spider mount that she's got. Alright, we'll just leave them where they are. That'll do us. We'll just end our turn. So it's been turned around. And it's been turned around as well. Not that that will matter that much. All right, so I can come back in here with this particular attack. I've got a 65% attack against these, but they'll end up too far away. I think I'll take the 50% attack here and just try to finish it off if we can. So let's just go and start there. This one move further? Yeah, this one can move further around. We'll start to sort of move in now. That one's got only one shot there at 50%. You know what I might do is I might actually use this. It's 65 way back there. Actually, that's a 50% there as well. Positioning. I ultimately want to not have to move my archers too much. Let's try this. I've only got the one shot, and what I want to do is just get it to zip away over to potentially there. No, it didn't do it. Didn't go where I wanted it to go, but it can no longer move. Which means that I can actually do 2 shots there at 65. If I just go and click on that one, we do a lot of damage here. And you graze with the second one. But that one has kicked in quite nicely. What I can then do is... The other one's going to then bounce into here. So if I go and throw him up into this position and then target this one over here. Oh, it's gone all the way back out there. So I can't really get that one. I don't have anything else that can get to this back one except for spell casting. So I think I'll actually take that and just get rid of at least one of them. So I'm going to go and grab this tentacle. I can only bring one of these in per battle. So let's kill this thing off. And that's also sort of constraining these. I don't think these are slippery. Oh, they are slippery. Alright, they can just move away in that case, so that's a bit of a waste. Although I do actually have this attack. I think I'll actually just start to hit these guys. So this is an 85. I can do a lot of damage here. And we've got this one as well. You don't have to heal anyone up. That's a 65% chance to kill that one off. So we'll take that. Now we've got these coming through. These may attack her, which again it's not going to really matter that much. But there's now a few. Like we've gotten rid of 2 of their units. In one sense, I think I'd be better off just protecting everyone just by putting them into a shield wall. So let's go and do that. So we're not going to really do much here, so let's just put a shield wall up there. These work well together, so another shield wall in there. That way they're going to be protecting each other. So this one has now got, if I go and click on it, 5 resistance, but except that the first attack does actually hurt us when it does use this attack back in here. So we've got the defender there as well. This thing, unfortunately, it was just a one-hit wonder. Because these other guys have got slippery, that nothing's going to really constrain them. So they will come back into all of these. So we'll just end our turn here. Plenty of greys, which is good. And that has been poisoned. They didn't move, which is good for me, because I can still use that other unit. Now, the first attack, remember, they run. So if I hit this one from this angle, it's going to bounce into here somewhere, which would actually be good for me. Rather than it bouncing 1, 2, 3, I don't want it to bounce 3 away. So I'll still move this one up. In fact, what I'll do is I'll move this one. I've got a 90%. Look, no, I might as well do the melee strike. Let's just move this one up and hit this guy. Oh, it went back the other way. Not where I wanted it to go. Okay. Well, I can still move this one around if we needed to. If I hit that one, I would like to hit it so that they end up bouncing this way, but I think they're going to go back out this other side. Well, let's just try it. Yeah, no, it's too far away now. All I can do here is actually hit this guy. These are critical hits, which is great. Only one shot there, so let's just bring this one up. Start to wear this one down. Now we have to get this one as well. And really what I need to do here is heal this one up. So the poisons were removed. Now I've got web, which will do some damage out this way. So I keep on facing this way. Now it's been immobilized. It will then do more attacks back this other side. Got 2 shots there at 70%. That'll get me the kill. 1 shot is all I need at 100%. So let's keep on moving this one up. Kill this one off. And this one here, again, I can sort of move it up into other zones. I think I'll actually move this one across into this position. And I'm going to, it says it turns it around, so I'm going to actually face the other way. And then put it into the shield wall, which sort of defends it. Now, if they attack that one, then it'll spin around, and then even though the defense will be down, it will still be facing the right way. Let's just see if that works. I've never done that before. Rally, so that's their morale. Turns around. Oh, they went that way. hit those. 50% chance there. 50 there, 50 there. I don't really have much. I'm better off just going melee. Just see what we can do. So just further back. Got 65 there. If I move this one out of the way. Move that one up. There's hardly any damage done. I've still got 2 shots there at 65. Let's try that. I need to get my casting points up. Only 1 shot went in. Come back to what we're going to do back there. Through. 2 shots there. Critical hit. And then we can kill that one off with this. Alright, so it's only these 2 other guys now that are the problem. Move this one up to start the attacks. Missed. Unfortunately, I'll put that one into shield wall mode. And the light spirit. Bring that up into the high foliage. So we're sort of chasing it back. These the fact that these things teleport whenever they're hit is a bit of a problem. I need them bouncing into an area that, like this is actually, you know, this is getting them to escape out of what's happening here. Let's just smack this one here, which pushes it back. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just too far. It's annoying having to chase these through the map, but we knew that was what it was going to be when we started. I do have jump. Not that I want that. Oh, hang on, I've got this. Completely forgot about that. That gets me that kill. Good. And 25% chance of killing this one. Missed. Our units are all now too badly damaged to be able to continue fighting. We're going to need to rest them up. Anyway, that's the way it goes. Now they are at the back end of the map. There we go. Okay, so hi Impaluko, how are you going? And just some chalk saying, fighting the social media army, 100 small poisonous attacks that run away before anyone can respond. Yes, that's a good analogy. But I've now lost too much health here to, I could possibly take on the others. We'll just see what we're up against. So we've got Helm of the Warrior. So I'll open up the hero screen. We'll give this across to Raston. Confirm that one. I want to get a better weapon for him so that he can use a mount. So if I move on up. Now, what have we got in here? We've got a level 3 sharpshooter ranger along with just a couple of shield units. I think that's still going to be very doable for us, even with the damage that we've sustained. So yeah, I think I will do that. Miguel is saying, hello there. After all these years of release, is this worth the price for all those expensive DLCs? Yes, it is. This is my favourite game. So am I biased? I try not to be, but but this is my all-time favourite game of all time. That's why it's an all-time favourite game. But no, this series is one of my favourite series of games ever since version 1 came out, way back 25 odd years ago, 26 years ago. So I've always loved this game. So the DLCs, there's certain DLCs that you definitely want to be getting, and there's other DLCs that you could pass on. But really, the base game also adds a lot. Like, you can play a lot with just the base game. So if you enjoy the base game, you don't need the DLCs to play the game, but they certainly certain DLCs really do add a lot. I'll just go to the actual page itself. So Tenru is saying fanboy alert. Yeah, saying hey Daz. Yes, I am a fanboy, but I try to be balanced with the information I give, and it's up to you guys to decide whether I am or not. I'll just switch back. Control tab. Just let me get across to the other bit, and we'll just go into the into Steam and have a look. I'll tell you which ones I think are worth it and which ones aren't. They all add a lot to it. So this is the publisher sale at the moment. Don't know if that'll take us to Age of Wonders, will it? No, just to the deal itself. There are some good deals in here, but Age of Wonders is my favourite game. So where are we? European University, here we go. So Age of Wonders, the base game, is 50% off. Now, the way that they do the DLCs is that they give you expansion passes, how you then get collections of DLCs. And so the last one, this expansion pass 3, is nothing's off that one through there. So if we look at the premium edition, that's 50% off as well. What does that one give you? I don't know what these little things actually provide you with, the premium editions, etc. Just get rid of that one for a second. Yeah, okay, so this premium edition essentially gives you, that's pretty good, I've got to say. If that whole thing, yeah, 50% off for the whole thing is actually not too bad. So that's so the various, and again, it's sort of hard because the DLCs are in these expansion passes, and so the best way, if you're going to get multiple, you're better off getting an expansion pass. If you're only going to get one, then maybe not. So Age of Wonders base game 50% off. It's funny because it's showing these others at only 30%, but yet it's saying the total package. Yes, I don't know why it's got 129 down the bottom there. I'm not sure why that's sort of saying that one, to be honest. So but this one here, if I go back to the base game, just go back to Age of Wonders 4, and then just look at the actual base units, and then you can figure out what expansion passes you think you might be wanting to get. So there's 3 expansion passes at this stage. They bring in a lot of the different. It's the premium edition. This is the collector's bundle. Off 11 items, so that's only 32% off. But again, for me, that's worth it. Just for the amount of play I get out of this game is like that sort of price is what's that? That's about 8 movies worth of time, which I definitely I've got a lot more than that out of the game itself. So content for the game. Let's have a look at these 15 items, and I'll just go through. I'll rate them in terms of what I think that what they're worth in through this other side. So it looks like it's going from the reverse order. All right, so, and you'll see that there's certain, like again, the expansion passes will come up. So there's one more coming into this expansion pass number 3. So we haven't seen the third one just yet. Hang on, this one is coming the first. Hang on, where's that one there? Age of Wonders, Cosmic Wanderer. I don't even know what that one is, to be honest. I've got no idea what that one actually is. I haven't got that one. So anyway, as we come back through, Rise from Ruin, I would say would be in the lower rung of needing to get. Thrones of Blood is I would put slightly in the upper rung. That does add a lot with the vampires. Then you've got down through here the Archon Prophecy. I would put that at the very, very top. I really, really think that one's an awesome addition to the actual game itself. Giant Kings, I would put at the very top as well, so top rung for that one through there as well. This one actually does add a lot of content. Ways of War, I would put in the bottom rung, so I would not worry too much about that one. To be honest, it's just this one adds ogres and monkeys essentially to the game, and Oathsworn Culture, which again is not really a great culture, so I would put that down towards the bottom. So these Heralds of Glory, again, I'm not really sure what these actually are. I haven't got those, or they probably have, but I don't know what they are. Eldritch Realms, I'll put that in the bottom rung as well. It just changes the game in too much of a weird way, so I would not worry about that one if you're trying to get them. Primal Fury was one that I didn't think was going to be really all that good, but it ended up being awesomely good. So this one actually adds a lot of things into the into the wilds of the game, but in a really good way. So that one I would put sort of probably middle towards the top in terms of the ones. Empire of Ashes is another one in that sort of category for me, sort of middle top in where it's going. Dragon Dawn would be right at the very, very top again. It adds a lot of content to the game itself. So you've got some ones there that are worth, the $10 for that DLC is good at 30% off. This sort of stuff here where you've got the Archmage attire, etc. Don't worry about that sort of stuff. It says it's free for the base game anyway, but it's not really. I don't know why they've put that like down there. But anyway, I don't understand all the way that all these things work. So for me, Dragon Dawn, the ones that you must have: Dragon Dawn, Giant Kings, and Archon Prophecy. Where is it? That one there. Those 3 are the absolute best, in my opinion. The ones that you also want to be getting, if you can, is Empire and Ashes, Primal Fury, and the Thrones of Blood. And then the others, if you want them, basically. So it's sort of one of those things where the DLCs, like all the DLCs are worth getting. Like they all add significant content. It's not just changing a color on something or anything like that. It's actually very, very meaningful. I've been blown away by just how much is added with every single DLC. And even though the DLCs are coming pretty thick and fast, they've all added a lot. So I don't know what you guys think. You guys that actually have got the DLCs and play the game, what your take on it is. But it's actually Johnny-opolis is saying the DLCs are actually really good. There we go. So yeah, so Johnny-opolis is giving a saying that they are worth it. I think that they're incredible. Like with what they've actually, I was blown away by just how much they added every single time with these DLCs. They just added so much content, so many different ways of playing the game. It's just phenomenal. They've done such a good job of the DLCs. I think that this last one, the Rise from Ruin, is something that, for me, this is the first one where it feels like we're starting to get stuff that's frivolous and not really sort of pushing the boundaries of adding new things. So it still is adding new things, but it's not. I wasn't as impressed with this one, and it may just be because I got a bit fatigued with all of the new characters. But I've got to say, like Thrones of Blood was every single one of them has been a big, pleasant surprise, and I just think I've just played so much like I'm actually really just enjoying going. The one I'm playing right now is base game. Like I'm just playing a character from just the base game of the game, and that's all I'm actually playing, and I'm thoroughly enjoying playing those. So, but it's an awesome game in total, and the DLCs, like some of those DLCs, really add an incredible amount. So there we go. So Dark Magic is saying Oathsworn is good. Yeah, so people are going to have different opinions. Just for me, it was just sort of like I didn't like the Simians. I sort of like it's more of an Eastern style that when we go into the Oathsworn, the Ways of War. This sort of takes it more into the Far East in terms of culture. So we sort of end up with sort of like I like the Lord of the Rings feel of the game, and so for me I don't really need to have like Eastern culture coming in too much into the game. So that was something that I didn't really I don't really warm to it. And similarly with Rise of Ruin, this is sort of bringing in more of the sort of Middle Eastern sort of style and into that sort of like that close Eastern sort of style. So we're sort of getting different sorts of forms and different sorts of ways of playing it, which are away from the Tolkien-esque way of playing to a degree. So I tend to sort of shy away from those simply because I like playing games that have got that Tolkien feel to them. Okay, so there we go. So System Stalker saying strategy guide to explain the pricing structure incoming. Yes, it's complex, but the way it works is even though it's got like all this stuff through here, when you see in fact that first grouping that said 50% off. And I'm not sure how that one actually does work, but these expansion passes. This one here, it's not off, but this one does give you. So Age of Wonders 4 Expansion Pass 3 takes you to the far reaches of the Astral Sea, where the Forsaken Realms and Forbidden Powers wait discovery. So it's not specifically telling us stuff, but there's Rise from Ruin. There should be the Rise of Ruins in there, but also the Thrones of Blood, and then there's one more coming soon, which will be. Well, it looks like it's going to be sort of even more Middle Eastern with potentially jinns and things like that. Maybe not. That may be part of this one. Actually, no, it looks like it's part of this one here. So we haven't sort of seen much. We haven't seen the third one yet from this one here. But the other expansion passes, you're better off grabbing an expansion pass if they're on special. Let's just go back out again, have a quick look and see. So yeah, that's expansion pass. Secrets of the Archmages is the next one coming, and Cosmic Wanderers. Yeah, I'm not sure where that one kicks in. So it says that one's out. I don't know. I don't remember that one coming in at all. Anyway, and so this is that the base game? Yeah, this is just base game stuff. If we look at the premium edition, so the premium edition, again, if we just have a look at the information for that one, what we're getting with that is the base game, the attire, which is free anyway, Dragon Dawn, so big tick on that one through there. So that one is one that you definitely want to be grabbing. And this essentially is expansion pass number 1. If I have a look at that one through there, this is now just going straight to expansion pass number 1. Can you get that one on its own? Yeah, 50% off for expansion pass. Oh, that's actually different again. That's a premium edition. It's talking about the premium edition. But this one here brings in Dragon Dawn, which is definitely worth it. Empire and Ashes. By the way, the pricing you're seeing is Australian dollars, so then it's a bit cheaper if you're sort of trying to equate them. So we end up with Empire, Dragon Dawn, absolute must-have. Empire and Ashes, great to have. Primal Fury, great to have. Eldritch Realms, yeah, a bit 50-50 for me. That was probably one of the weakest of all of the DLCs. But you do get, like with these expansion passes, you do get a lot of content. So if you can get the expansion passes cheaply, that's definitely the way to go. And then the second one as well, you then end up getting like the giants and so on and so forth. So it's a great way to flesh out your collection. But the DLCs are very, very good overall. Like they're... I'm trying to think of another game that's actually had better DLCs. I don't mean any game, and I really can't think of one. The DLCs in this game are just phenomenal with what actually does go on. So Hexadecimal saying there's a lot of content even in the base game. Yes, there definitely is. It's Centenary is saying the amount of DLCs makes me seethe, and I understand that. Like it's one of those things where, and when we have a look back at the history of Age of Wonders, and we look at Age of Wonders 1 and 2, and even 3, sort of started off with that being sort of just run purely by Triumph Studios, and then with 3 they then joined up with Paradox during the development of version 3, and so essentially they were in charge of whatever they do, which they are. And so Triumph Studios with Planetfall, when Planetfall came out, this was just after Paradox had actually sort of joined up with Triumph Studios, and everyone was thinking, oh no, here we go, they're going to be giving us bloated DLC everywhere, like a lot of the Paradox games, and so that was actually a massive concern for the people who loved Age of Wonders, and so pressure was put on by the community back to Triumph Studios saying, what are your plans for DLC? We don't want bloat like what we get with Hearts of Iron, stuff like that, and your Reaper Universalist, you don't know which DLCs to get and which ones not to get. And in that game, so in Planetfall, Triumph Studios said, no, we're in charge of the development of the game, and the plan is to have, I forget if it was 3 or 4 DLCs, and so they said that's all we're going to do. We're not going to do any more DLCs. And it's funny because by the time that game came to its final conclusion, people were screaming for more DLC because it was such a good game, and so that was sort of one of those things where it says, please give us more, but they had made the commitment that they were only going to do X number, like 3 or whatever it was. But then when Age of Wonders 4 came out, I know I was asking questions like, how much are you going to make the same commitment again with DLC? And they didn't ever answer that question. But I thought we were going to end up with DLC bloat, and I mean by bloat I mean DLCs that just don't matter, don't mean anything, and that's not been the case. There's been a lot of DLCs, but the DLCs all matter and they all add a lot to the game. So for me, it's actually a big win for the gaming communities that play these games. It looks like Paradox bloat, but it's not in the sense of the way it does sort of work. I'm just going to go and turn my air conditioner on. I'll be right back. So I'm hobbling around. I've got slipped discs in my back at the moment, and it's quite painful. Let's just keep on reading a few of the comments. I'll just go through the Twitch ones first. At least 10 more DLC packs as long as people keep buying them. Stellarising it up. Yeah, look, and again, people, Stellaris, I don't play much Stellaris because I mainly play Distant Worlds, but I don't see the negativity about the Stellaris DLCs. I think that they all add to the game. Not that I play it much. So, but certainly in this game, the DLCs are definitely worth it. Just been saying, honestly, I sat on this after an initial burst, so I've already been successfully influenced to take up the base Age of Wonders 4. Yeah, the base game, even the base game on its own, is a great game. So if you're only going to play it, a handful of times, then just get the base game. If you think it's something that you'll be playing a lot, then start to grab the DLCs when they come on special. Okay, so is this the best Age of Wonders? Oh, by a mile, by an absolute mile. It's every other Age of Wonders I've had to heavily mod to get enjoyment out of it, like to really get enjoyment out of it, like going all the way back to Age of Wonders 2. So I used to have that one heavily modded, and so it's to the point where I only can think of the games through the eyes of the mods and like the modifications that I had put into them. And Age of Wonders 3 as well, I had to heavily mod that one. I think I had like 14 mods or something running in Age of Wonders 3 just to make it so that I actually really enjoyed the game, which was great. But in this game, I don't have any mods running because the game is so well done. Like it's just you just don't need the mods. So in this case, yes, it's a great game. Jennifer's saying no clue, but it's the most expensive. Well, it's the most recent one, of course. Young William is saying, Heroes 3? Heroes of Might and Magic 3, you mean? Is that what you're referring to? I mean, we've got the new Olden Era that's just come out. That's a good game as well, if you are into Heroes of Might and Magic. I'm going to be playing more of that, actually. I do like that game a lot. I don't love it, but I do like it. So Tina is saying they invited the devil into their home, in my opinion. No. It's look, the interesting thing about the joining of Paradox and Triumph Studios is that I believe, like from everything I've seen, that we're getting the absolute best of both the best of Paradox and the best of Triumph Studios with what we end up getting for this game. It's I'm so happy that move was made. Like in hindsight, at the time I was quite apprehensive about the fact that a lot of the Paradox DLCs just seem to be like, here's some extra clothing for your people to wear and stuff like that, and without you really knowing what you were, what meaningful changes were being made. But that's not the case. We've got. You can certainly see the Paradox influence, and the game is very, very successful, and I feel so happy for Triumph Studios that they've got a massive success on their hands, and that wouldn't have happened without Paradox. So for me, the combination of the marketing of Paradox, the power of Paradox, along with the skill of Triumph Studios is just an absolute incredible combination of two companies. I really, really like it a hell of a lot. Like, it's sort of, in hindsight, I'm just thinking, wow, this is absolutely perfect. So young William's saying, are air conditioners pretty widespread in Australia? Pretty much, depending on where you are. I mean, like, it's sort of, it's just one of those things where, like, this is where this is my office where I work as well. So, and if I didn't have it, I'd just absolutely cook during the day, which is not pleasant. So yeah, they are pretty prevalent. The Vix is saying, I fell behind on Stellaris DLC, so I just wait until a few out and pay the 15 monthly pass. Play a lot in a month and put it down again. Yeah, that's a good idea. Henry saying, I don't know. I don't see it as a coincidence that the moment Paradox enters the picture, the amount of DLCs explodes. Well, it wasn't. The moment they entered the picture was actually Planetfall, and in that instant, this is why I think that this is not a Paradox game. This is a Triumph Studios game with Paradox sort of on a layer outside of the development to a large degree. But then you do see the benefit of the experience of Paradox with the game. So it's still a Triumph game, very, very much so. So yeah, it's so we're not. It like when you look at the what you get in the DLCs in this game compared to the DLCs of any other Paradox game. For me, it's chalk and cheese. There's so much more content in the DLCs here. Anyway, like, there was a fanboy alert previously, and now you're sort of seeing my fanboyism, I guess. Just going back to the comments. So on YouTube, so Miguel is saying the full complement is about €95. Yeah, it's sort of one of those things again. When I'm trying to make up my mind about whether to buy a game or not, and look, most of my games I get from developers now, but but certainly I always look at it and say, what's the price of a movie ticket? And here in Australia, it's around about $15 to $20 just to go and see a movie. I'm going to get, like, maybe let's just be generous and say I get 3 hours of enjoyment out of watching a movie for, say, $20. So what sort of enjoyment am I going to get out of playing a game? Am I likely to play it for X number of movies worth? So even the expensive games that might be like $100, that still works out to be. Am I going to get 5 movies worth of enjoyment out of it? And like the games where I can absolutely say yes to are games like Age of Wonders. Distant Worlds Universe was one that I was really on the fence about because it was so expensive when that one was being developed. And again, when I started playing it, I just found, wow, I got so much more time out of that. So if it's 5, like if I get more than, say, 15, like if it's going to cost me, say, $100, and games don't cost that much anymore, but if it was going to be $100 game, and that's what Distant Worlds Universe was about, that, then am I going to get 15 hours worth of gameplay out of it? And Distant Worlds Universe, I got probably 1,000 hours out of it, So in that sort of sense, yes, I do find it worth it. And same with Age of Wonders, the Age of Wonders games. I get thousands and thousands of hours out of gameplay, out of playing these games, and absolutely love it. And we're saying, Daz, we're still missing the fanboy emote. Yes, I've got to do something, don't I? when my eyes look out different ways, and I'm drooling. So 100th Monkey saying, recently got Age of Wonders 4 because of you, and so far very happy with the purchase. Yeah, it's a great game. Look, there's no other game where the tactical battles are this complex or this in depth. Like it's just phenomenal what they've done. So I'll just go back to so Dr. K Magic is saying, yay, Age of Wonders 4, my latest obsession. It's a great game. Yeah, absolutely. Miguel, and the DLCs just make it better. Yes, it is. If you enjoy the base game, you're going to enjoy the DLCs. And Dr. Magic did say that Oathsworn was good. And Premium Edition looks like the base game and expansion pass one. I think so. I think that's all you get with that one, but that's got some good content in it. They said they will support it for 10 years on their blog, which I love. I want to keep playing this game forever. Yes, no, I know what you mean. It's an awesome game. I also love that they keep making the base game better every DLC, and saying I think it's also worth noting that some DLCs are just mostly cosmetic, so it's easy to skip them, like the Archon one. No, I find for me the Archon one actually adds a lot of content. Like that's for me is the best DLC. It's funny how different people have got different perspectives. The Archon, I love the Archons from Age of Wonders 2. Absolutely love them, and so maybe that is a fanboy thing of mine coming in and looking at the Archon and thinking, wow. And when that one hit, I was so happy with it. So that's been my favourite one so far. Miguel is saying, well, I like to pay €1 per hour of enjoyment above that, and I'll be satisfied. Well, it sort of comes down, look, I think that where you can sort of qualify yourself with the game is whether you enjoy the tactical combat or not. If you don't enjoy the tactical combat, so a lot of people actually just auto the tactical combat all the time because they don't enjoy it. If you're in that category, you're probably not going to get as many hours out of the game. But if you, like I said, let's go and fight this battle. I'll just do a quick save because I am concerned about how the health is down through here. So we do have to, and you get a feel for how your troops are going to go. Like we've got a good feel for the troops that we actually have in through here. We just have to know what we're going up against. So in this case, we've just got a couple of defenders. Now, as soon as I see defender units, like shield units, in through here, I'm thinking of hard to kill, but not very much power coming back. So they're not going to do a hell of a lot of damage, and we've got those as well. So the damage is going to have to come from this character here. This is Bluebell, the sharpshooter. So she's a ranger. She's a part of the Grim Heartlings, which I'm assuming are going to be. So that's her there. Is she a halfling? Grim Heartlings, halflings, yeah. So she's a halfling hero, so a hobbit hero. She's got a heap of stuff in through here. She does actually have the piercing bow, which is going to do a. This does just missile damage, but does some frost damage as well. So that one's sort of going to be coming back through. She's a spellblade and also a ranger, but so she's going to be the hard one for us to kill off. And so she's got like a repeating attack. So we're going to have to focus on her and just contain these guys. Is going to be the way that we'd go into battle. So even before we start, we get a feel for how we have to approach the tactical battle. And because we've got injured units, and we're going to be going in with injured, like certainly our main like the Elven Queen, I don't want her getting too close to this ranger because the ranger's going to have a long range attack. So I'm going to have to wait until we get the death blow before I can really bring her into the picture. So let's go in and fight this one out. It's sort of one-sided because we certainly have like a 2-to-1 power sort of equivalence in through here. The game as well, like the AI will decide on what battles to fight against you based on this equation, but the equation doesn't take into account. Now, yesterday when I was playing, I played an incredibly difficult battle for me. There was actually a 50-50 battle, but the mix of the enemy forces was such that the forces that I was bringing into the fight really struggled against them. In this case, not so much, except for her. So let's go into manual combat. So if you play the game, like, yeah, you will get enjoyment if you just auto combat everything. But I find that the manual combat, I really can't think of another game where the tactical combat can be so different every single time, but also so punishing. So I have no qualms at all in save scumming this game. You learn a hell of a lot more by save scumming than not. So here she comes on her little pony, on the My Little Pony. So she's in behind the group. Now these guys aren't going to be heavy hitters. They're just going to be moving down into here. She's the one that we have to be concerned with. So she's got a few different things that she can do. So she's got her shooting the bow, which does 9 physical damage and 7 frost damage per shot. She's also got a snapshot, so fires ranged projectiles at target enemy unit, which can cause bleeding, disruptive, actually, so cancels defensive mode and removes retaliation attacks. So we have to be careful of that as well. Does that one do the same thing? No, it doesn't. But this one here is a free shot, so she gets that one for free. So she essentially gets 4 shots with what she's doing. She can also stab, like all of the heroes can do that if they're if they've got a ranged attack. So we want to. So she can actually move in. She can actually fire at range 4. So if she ended up there, for example, she could actually hit everything in the front rung there. So I'm going to, but she won't, because she'll have to sort of stay back a little bit. So I want to move in my these guys, and we'll have to then try to sort of capture her at some point. So I'm just going to move up a little bit with these units. And I want these, actually I should have moved, I'll move that one across there for now. I want to actually have these support each other, because we're only going up against physical attacks. And so for a large portion of what we're going to be doing, and what I'll do here as well, is just move this one up to say there, and just heal this one up. Just to give it a little bit of fighting power. I can place one of them in there, which I think I will do with this one here. And I'll put that one into those bushes as well. Let's move that one out to the side. So I can actually go into these ones here where we get slightly obscured. If she's going to be attacking us, it'll make it slightly more difficult for her to hit those. And I'm just going to put this one back in this low foliage as well, just to get the obscuring, and just sort of try to keep the hero safe, because this is possibly one that they would look at and think, oh, okay, there's a opportunity there for me to kill off this particular unit. So I'm sort of hoping that they get drawn down this way. So they may come straight through the middle, but they may come through this other side here. So the shield walls will then go up. She can pass through. That's interesting. She has gone down that other side. Now this then cancels the defensive mode. Now that was her free shot, I think. There she goes. She's got another one now. It's just caused bleeding. Okay, so let's just double check what she's got. So blood sigil. So she's a vampire by the looks of things. Demolisher, elusive, light-footed. Yep. So friendly units do not block movement. Quick reflexes and slip away. When this unit's hit points are reduced to 0, it displaced by 3 hexes and heals for 15 temporary. So she's got that once in the battle. So what we want to do is we want to now rush in and stop her. When I move into like this, she's now pinned. And so when we have a look at it, she can't use these without moving away. So we'll go and do an attack here. And similarly this one through here. Now I can attack if I'm wanting to, but I'm just going to block this one in as a shield wall. Then we've got these guys, which these can break out now, and we have to be a little bit careful of those. We've got one that's back over here again as well, so I'm just going to move this one across to stop this one from being able to break out. And again, our units don't do a hell of a lot of damage. You can see there that the actual fighting between these is very, very minimal. So it's not really going to help all that much. Only got a 45% chance there. I'm looking at the action points. I've got 100% action points there. But again, these are very, very good at defending themselves. So we ultimately have to try to fire on this one at the back. It's only 20%. 45%. I think I'll still potentially take it. Got 100 there. Let's move this one in. Just move that one in. This should then stop it from... Oh, it can break through. Damn it. Okay, well that's not good. Can one break through? Oh, that one's blocked in. I don't know how that one can break through there. I've got that one established. Just get 2 shots there. Oh, we hit our own guy, which is not good. So it's now been condemned. And there's no real point in hitting this one, so I'm just going to go and sit there, and same in here. Now I do actually have the spell casting again, but I don't have a real lot of mana, so I don't think I need it yet, so let's just end our turn. That one's trying to now run. Got some retaliation strikes. We didn't do a lot of damage there, unfortunately. Get this one killed. There's a way to attack this one. Alright, so she's moved away to the point where I can't actually reach her. But I'm still going to come around and try. Slowly wear her down, because she is the dangerous one. 70%, we'll just go with that one. We do have a flanking shot here, which will get the kill. No, we didn't quite get there. Why not? It's at 1 point. I think that was just bad luck. There's nothing keeping it alive. So we've got still got the queen here. I've still got this as well. Excuse me, and we'll just move this one up. We'll finish off this group as well. So again, the AI has done a great job of just positioning those forces to protect the other unit. But we also did a good job of stopping units from getting too close to our, damaged units. So I'll move that one up. And again, am I going to get much damage here? Yeah, I will actually. So I'm just going to go and hit, just to start to sort of bring it down. It's only 4 damage, but she's only got like a small amount anyway. 47 left now. End our turn. So she's going to again have to run away. And she just fumbled. But she got a critical hit there. So again, she's a tricky one. Trying to sort of, bring her down. %, chance there. Look, we're going to have to chase her down. It's only 20% chance. There's a chance I'll hit him, so I don't really want to do that. But we've still locked her in. That is the important thing. Across. Can now do healing again. It's got to be within 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can do that one there. Bleeding was removed. That's good. Now I do have this as well within 4. Get 2 shots at her. 45 is not too bad. Yeah, she's going to run now. So her morale has now dropped down to the bottom rung. Remember, she does have slip away as well. No, let's finish her off. Now she'll slip away. There she goes. Right where we want her, so now we can finish her off. There we go. So we've either captured her or destroyed her. I wanted to do that one so we end up with her in the reason I kept that battle going was so that we'd end up with her in the crypt or the prisons. So we'll close that one off because we hate halflings. So this is scavenge equipment from the defeated heroes. So we've got the Blood Seeker of Demolishing. So this one here is gives us the Blood Sigil. So attack and debuffs ignore 1 status resistance per stack of bleeding on the target. And Demolisher, this unit's units attacks damage fortified attacks. Alright, so I'll keep that one. I'll open up the hero screen and give that across into her. We don't have anything else, do we? No, that's pretty much it. Close that one. Alright, so we've now hit that one. This one over through here is going to be different again. And so we've now got 2 support bannermen back in through here, which will have like a Spirit Smite attack, and then we've also then got ourselves a Death Guard, which is a polearm unit, but it's only level 2. These are all just level 2s. And so I do want to just keep on sort of smashing these before we sort of start to move down. So we might as well, even though again we've taken a bit of damage, let's just keep on going, I think. So again, you can see it's a fairly simple battle for us. But our total points, the 500, we lost another 30 odd points there because of the damage that's been done to our units. So we'll let's do a quick save and we'll just come back across. Right, so manual combat. Yeah, so freeway is saying I usually fight the hard ones and skip the trivial ones. Yeah, I don't like. And again, if you end up losing units, you can always just replay them. I like to play them more than not in the particularly when I'm streaming, because it's like it really is the core part of the game that makes it sort of much more unique than nearly any other game. And so I like to show what the game does. But yeah, I probably would have just autoed this one and then seen the result. But sometimes if you're trying to protect the health of your units, you may decide to do these battles. You can always replay them anyway, so it's not a massive problem. I'll just start to move down with these groups. So these took a bit of damage last time. So there's a quarry that we've hit, like an iron mine. Just get that one healed up a little bit. Behind. I'll leave her a little bit of the way out. That should do us. So the shield walls will put their shield walls up, the defenders. Now these are more support units. These are like really designed to not do big damage. So we're now close enough to be able to hit this one pretty hard with the archers. We want to bring its defenses down if we can. Nope, that didn't work. I'm slightly too far away. I can get 2 shots there, which I'll take. And this unit was another 60% there, but I can actually move 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this one I can give the coordinated command or decisive command there to give that another turn. Say, hey, attack again at 85. We haven't been able to bring its defenses down. Oh, there we go. We've got a Sunder defense there now. So how many of those stacks? So we've got 3 stacks. That's good. So it's actually defending now at a less amount. So the Sunder defenses bring it down by 3. This next attack, though, is a magical attack. I'm not going to get into there, unfortunately. This one across. Now the defender, I'm just going to keep it with the shield wall up. Bring these down as well, shield wall up, and then bring this one down around as well. So we'll surround them with our melee fighters. So this one here can't use its banner smite. It does actually have another one here, which will bring up the morale and bring up some temporary hit points. So this is like a healer unit, these bannermen. But in this case, like it's going to have to move away before it can actually do this. So we get one free hit at it. This one here, I'm going to bring around. Greys, which is fine. So these aren't really designed to be heavy hitters in combat. They really are support units. I probably want to bring that one back out because this one's now going to be struggling a lot. Let's just move it up and out of there. can't quite get around the other side. 2 shots there. Now I can leap here, so jump to target location at 3 away. So if I go to there, then we've got 1, 2, 3. I can get to there. The web is only 2 hex cones, so I don't then miss out. So I'm better off just firing at this one. Don't get a shot there. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm actually in connection with this one through here, which is why I hit with that one there to get the kill. Then I move this one up just to lock this one in. And look, I might as well start hitting it. And then I've got this unit that can still actually get around here as well. So these will both get double hits. Bring this one down. It can do the healing. Not that it's going to really matter that much. So it has to move away, which gives me free hits. So that hero, bring that one through. 45%, I'll still take it. If it's too low, the risk of actually hitting our own guys is too much. Yeah, the combat has improved over each version of Age of Wonders as well. Like, it used to be that you would have like monstrously large battles. Now it's a maximum of only 3 stacks. But it used to be, I think you used to have 8 people in each stack, and you could actually literally surround a single unit and actually have like you know, all of your stacks attacking that one stack. So you'd end up with heaps and heaps of units in the actual, in what you're doing. Let's just kill this one off. The elves are destroying the goblins. There we go. So we've just cleared that one out. Just close that one. So now what I want to do is now move back towards the and finish off. So that was good. We actually got rid of all of those just in one turn, but we did suffer a lot of health problems. So we got damaged a fair bit. Now Bluebell has been put in the crypt, so we now have her in here. Now eventually when we start to sort of build the bigger crypts, we're then going to end up, well, we can sell her remains for gold if we need it, which I always forget to do, but we can also, we will ultimately end up with, you know, research and also mana from these different prisoners and remains that we collect. We produced a tavern. Now this is massive. This gets us back down to stability. So we've actually now just got, we're now neutral, which means that we're getting the full contingent of everything that we've been trying to get, which is nice. And if we just go back into here, the next one I want to be getting is pretty much the bathhouse, which is also boosted. So this one here is another one that's going to give me plus 40 city stability. This is incredibly important. So we're just going to go and grab that one. We've got a scout coming next turn. I'm not going to rush these. I'll just keep the money sort of trying to build up now. I do actually have this scout. I'm just going to go and grab whatever goodies they are. So it's 72 there. I think I'll just keep on in the water and have a bit of a look around. So we're looking at this particular continent. We have an umbral nest there. Interesting. This would be tricky. This one's still asleep. It's still early part of the game. These will be difficult ultimately to fight. It's not a pleasant part of the map either, to be honest. There's a fair few locations underground. We might have to start to get underground as well fairly soon. So we'll end our turn there. We'll just have a look at the edge, where our continent actually extends to. Yeah, so Dr. Magic is saying, oh, too late, the late game combat, 18 armies is too much. Yes. Any ETO on Distant Worlds 2 next DLC? No, I don't. I haven't heard anything, and I actually have been staying outside of the beta comments, to be honest, just so I don't wreck it for myself. And I'm not allowed to talk about whatever's written in there anyway, so I've certainly been. So I've been keeping myself away. Just going to go and keep on grabbing all this loot. More gold, which is nice. Seeing different units in through here. I said yesterday, and again, when you're playing the game, if you're sort of new to the game, you might be looking at all these different stacks thinking, oh my god, there's all these skull and crossbone stacks everywhere. If they're white, it means that they basically are just defenders. They're guards for everything. If I go and see, you can see it says NPC Army of the Marauder Guard. But when they're red like this Umbral Nest, that's different again. It's still a Marauder Guard, but this is a spawner. And so this one will change. The other ones won't change. They'll just stay where they are. And so when you see with the white banners, like a white on black, it means that they're going to not move off, so you don't have to worry about them. But these ones here with the red on the black do move off. So, or they change, they adapt. So we have to be a bit careful of those and try to get rid of them pretty early. So, for example, here is one where we've got like a Forsaken Cove, which is still asleep, but there's another defender there as well. So this one is red. It's going to potentially either wander or it's part of the defence of that Forsaken Cove. There may be another hidden unit there that we haven't actually seen yet. So a bit more tricky for us to go and pick up. That's interesting. We're seeing a lot of stuff going on there. Our ruler leveled up. So, someone gives us extra status resistance. This will become important later on. Down through here, we've chosen already Disciple of Earth. We've got Blast Evocation. It hits at range 6. Deals damage to enemy units in a 1 hex radius. And a 90% chance of inflicting 2 Sundered Defense for 3 turns. That's actually a good one. And then this one here is a Focused Evocation of 38. Always hits and has a chance to stun it. Deals damage to only a single unit. Cooldown of 2. That one's also cooldown of 2. I like the idea of stunning units. I think we'll go that one. So we'll take that one as our level up. Get her a bit more powerful. So Pigmac is saying, is it randomly generated placements each playthrough? Yes, very much so. And it's sort of funny, like, I'll go back, I'll just do a quick save. So I'll save the game. And I'll show you what I mean. The game is incredible, and as you get the DLCs, I'll show you what just a base game looks like, and it's actually really quite nice. So if I just go back out to the menu, and again, it's one of the most beautiful games that you can play. Like if I go into a new game,
choose your destination.
You can play official maps. Now, see the storybook? These are semi-randomized. So the actual layout will be semi-randomized with different placement, but there'll be a lot of story elements put into it as well. And so these are, and this is the difficulty essentially of these different stories. So these are not very random. Or like actually all of those there are not very random. So these are all like different story elements that you can go and play through. And people like them. I don't play them. I don't bother with them. Then we've got challenge realms, and these are fully randomized, but with different themes running through them. And you can see there the difficulty of these different themes if you're wanting to. And these mainly highlight the different DLC packs that you can sort of see sort of being pushed into these particular realms. And then you've got just challenge realms down through here as well, where it's sort of more base game. So if it requires a DLC, it'll tell you back and through there with those little symbols. These are base game ones you can then just go and create in here, where it's just using certain aspects of the game that will actually make a different type of map for you. Like this is, so of those scenarios, all I did was I've only completed the beginner scenario because I just play custom maps. So I just tend to build up custom maps whenever I play the game, however I want to be playing it. So what are we playing at the moment? I forget which one we're actually. I think we're playing this one, The Great Unknown, and you can see down through there's all these different unknown traits that we've got. We've got what have we got? 7 unknown traits on this particular game. If I go and create a realm, so this is actually the random map generation or the map generation. I've then got like different traits that I can then sort of go and choose. If I go to customize the realm, so I've got, these are all things that then change what actually happens. The default is to play on continents, which is, it ends up being, that's what we ended up doing, but you've got all these different types of maps to play on. But continents was the one that we ended up with, and where is continents? If I go to unknown traits, which is what we started off with, it shows continents for us in through here. So that's the default, but that's actually what did come up. If I don't play with anything in here, I end up with just a stock standard random map, but I can just push different types of aspects into the game to push the random map in different directions. Now, again, if it's from a DLC, you'll see it through there, but all of these things, well, most of these things are just base game stuff, environmental stuff. If we wanted to have like a Arctic blizzards, this is going to make it much more of a frozen world. Whatever we want to do, there's just heaps and heaps and heaps of stuff. So that's just in these 8 random placements. You can have as many or as few as you like. But I actually quite like, even just playing with just continents is actually a really, really good game. Then you've got things, for example, like this is actually where it does make it into frozen realms, highlands where there's more mountains, etc., etc. The next one across here is sort of like what type of spawners you're likely to be getting. Again, if you don't choose anything, you get a bit of everything. So there's all sorts of different spawners where these are going to be much more prevalent. So like rampant undeath, where you end up with like undead units, etc., etc. So you can sort of pick and choose your flavour there. And then these are like to bring in special, I guess, special heroes or special enemies that you then have to fight to sort of play this. Some of these are really, really hard, and some of them aren't that bad. But there's a lot, and a lot of these are unlocked in what's called the Pantheon. The Pantheon is sort of like as you finish games and finish points, and I've got no more points left in there at the moment. I've unlocked as much as I can. But the Pantheon, if I have a look back through here, if I look at the rewards, so I've unlocked a lot of stuff just as I've been playing the game. So I just, if there's something in particular that I want to get, and a lot of these are just cosmetic, like, so I don't really worry about the cosmetic ones, but a lot of them are actually also interesting to play. Like you saw there, I'll just go back out and exit out of that one. Just press escape. Yep. These with the little symbol through there is the Pantheon unlock. So I've unlocked certain things in the Pantheon just so I've got more content to play with. Anyway, that's sort of these. I would recommend that you keep them off unless you sort of start to get good at the game, I guess. An unknown trait means it'll just randomly choose something. Anyway, I won't go through all the intricacies of doing this one. I'll just go and say next. Would you like to save this custom realm? No. And then you've either got like library units where the developers have actually built their own factions. If you've played the old games, you'll find all the old characters in here, like Artica, the Frostlings. So she's like a human Frostling. So if I go and choose her, for example, I'd be playing as her. But you can also then just go across. You've got also Pantheon rulers, where these are rulers that have actually won that I've won the game with. And so they then just get saved into the Pantheon. I can bring these ones back in again to sort of, dragons or whatever it might be, to sort of then play again if I'm wanting to. Also, when I create like a custom faction, they'll end up in here. I've got heaps of them as I play the game so much. So the one that we have got at the moment, and I forgot her name, it'll be, I can actually go to the filter and go to, I can filter by forms. We're playing as an elf, so she will be one of these elves. There she is. So we created her randomly. So that's the one that we're currently playing with. So she was set up as like an elf, but these are all the different types of units that you can end up having. There's just so much in this game. But if I go back to, say, the library and just choose again, I'll just get rid of the filter. Actually, sorry, I'll just go and get that one again to. I'll just leave it. Actually, I don't know how to get rid of that one. I'll just reset, close. So I've then just got the other one. So if we go back to Artica again. So again, the library is mainly going to be coming from the old games. These are sort of like remakes of the old players. Yeah, Gloomwatch Sirens. There's just heaps. They've done such a good job of this. Yeah, such a good job. Where is she? I'm not even seeing her anymore. But these, if you've played the old games, you'll be familiar with these. Like here's the Fangir, from the dwarves, the Moonrock dwarves. Artica, there she is. I'll just go and grab her for a second. So she is sort of like the Frostling Queen, and so it's. I'll just go and select the faction, and there we're now generating the random map, and we won't know what that random map will be, but it will be. It'll be sort of like the Manila map for the game. So there's so much you can do in this game. Like it really is. It's just phenomenal, and this is even just like I'm pretty sure that she's base game. So Tyler still is saying, "Hey Daz, I love your streams on here on YouTube. I'd love a tutorial series on Shadow Empire. I can't seem to get the hang of it. It's difficult. I started playing a game the other day actually, which on the Matrix channel, and I was really quite happy with it. I'm thinking I will actually make an actual dedicated tutorial again for Shadow Empire, where I don't do it live, where I actually just do it as a recording, because there's a lot that is going on now in that game. Anyway, so you can see that she started off in a frosted realm. Let's go and click on OK. I probably shouldn't have chosen her because she will start off with frost everywhere. But then as we move away, if I just go and grab the scout, I'll just go along this road as an example. So she has better movement through the frost, but the map will change when she sort of gets out of her areas. I'll just move away and just see if we can find the rest of the map. But yeah, unfortunately, by choosing her, I didn't think about that. If I go to surrender, I think that will actually... by the way, if you are playing the game and you play any length of at all, don't just delete the save files, always surrender. Because you will get the points which you can spend in the Pantheon. So if I just go back, show the journey. Now can I zoom in? No, but this is the world map. It's not letting me have a good look inside to see what's actually going on through there. But this is where the other players ended up sort of coming back in. And again, you can choose how these are set up, like the actual enemy players, with what they end up doing. So we ended up with one that came in, Artica. Cinder is, I think, something that I had created as well. Yeah, there's another dragon. Yeah, anyway, that's who we'd be playing with. So the frozen sections were just in this area of the map to allow us to expand into the frost. And then there's, of course, the underground as well, which I'm assuming will be there. This is the underground realms as well. Not sure if there's anyone that's ended up playing in those. No, it doesn't look like it. So everyone was above ground, but then we've got this underground to explore as well. Anyway, that's the... let's go and click on done. But if you do anything at all, you will pick up points for the Pantheon. But you can see we got 0 points there because we didn't actually do anything. Let's go and click on done. And we'll load our game back in again. So now once we've actually done that one, I'm just going to delete the session. I tend to keep the sessions fairly succinct. This one here I was playing before, but I haven't actually finished it. And I may finish that one at some point, but I'm not sure yet. So Again, if I was going to load this one back in and I wasn't going to play any more of it, I would then resign or surrender that session and get the points, which I could then spend in the Pantheon. But anyway, this is the one that we're doing, so we'll just go and load this one in. But yeah, it's a really cool game. They've done such a good job, and every time that they keep on updating the base game as well and making that better and better. So it's yeah, they've done a phenomenal job. Now we're going to go across. We need to kill this thing off, and we have to just keep on sort of building up our forces. Now we do actually have another scout. I've got scouts going down this way. I can get into the underground down that way, but I've also got the underground back over here as well. So let's actually move this one down. So just move that scout down, and we'll start to hit the underground. All right, we'll end our turn there. Now we are slowly getting our health up. So we're just in the initially, right now we're just in the early phase of trying to sort of expand. So we're going to come racing across here. Bring you across as well. Now we're inside our own territory, which means that we heal up very quickly. So we've now nearly fully healed. Let's get underground and see what we can find. Now, I do want to start to check out different areas around the place and just see what we can find. There's we can see in the fog of war. There's areas underground here that actually, well, there's another way out as well under in the ocean. It's a fairly expansive underground. Got ghost fields in here. This will be an unusual location. Now we're playing. This one here is ghost fields as a landmark. So this was introduced fairly recently. These different landmarks on the maps, which sort of make the games really quite interesting to play. So provinces adjacent to this landmark gain +10 draft. If souls are obtained, this province also grants +2 souls. We're not playing with a faction that uses souls. The Undying Battlefield is also in a combat enchantment. A city with 3 provinces adjacent to this landmark gains Tier 1 units have their recruitment cost reduced by 25%. And if souls are obtainable, unlocks recruitment of Tier 1 skeleton units. So this is actually a more of an undead faction location. But we are playing with if I just press escape and look at the realm overview, we started off with a whole lot of unknown traits, and we don't know what they all are. But what we've discovered is we are playing with continents, so we've actually been able to discover that we are playing with continents, and we also are playing with what's called megacities. This world allows for the construction of immense megacities, yet traditional expansion is impossible. So you cannot absorb, migrate, or settle new cities. Cities can perform province annexation, so +5 provinces further away. So we can build massive cities, but we can't actually settle them. And but we can. It says we cannot absorb, migrate, or settle. And I don't know if we can do. We can definitely get vassals, but I'm not exactly sure how that first one is going to work. But anyway, that's what we have. We still have to discover 4 of these unknown traits in the actual game itself. We don't know what they are, but I'm suspecting that one of them is because with our group, if we go back and have a look at this particular unit, it's got death casting. So unit grants their owner +10 combat casting points on death. That will be a feature of this world. I don't know which little feature it actually is, but that will be a feature that we're going to sort of have to come across. So how does, so Miguel is then saying, how does RNG and random events or the unforeseeable changes in the game, was it very predictable? It's generally very predictable. The only thing where you've got like a chance of something actually happening is in here, and I'll show you that when we get into combat. Actually, we're going to get into combat very closely, so I'll show you exactly where the RNG kicks in and just how predictable it actually is. It's one of these games where yes, it can piss you off, but not like most games. Actually, I might just have a quick look and see, have we got... Yeah, we can actually start to excavate the underground. I might buy that now, I think. And that way I can actually just use this unit to start to expand into different areas. Let's work to the south. If I walk up against one of these sort of locations here, I can then just go and dig it out. And then we may find other areas in here that are worthwhile. Excuse me. So this is actually now just on the outside. That one may have... No, there's no one protecting it. So just keep on grabbing all this loot. So the other one went underground there. Discovered the ghost fields. Yeah, that's okay. And so this is like a special location, again, randomly placed. But there'll be a few themed locations around the map. But because we're playing with mega cities, I can't make use of that. Not in reality. Okay, we'll end our turn. And then we'll do the combat. Now, something moved off there. So that's showing movement, and yet we're over here. So I didn't see that. I didn't see what that actually was. Now, we've actually now got, this over through here is telling me that there's actually another feature of the map that we've just discovered, Bannerlords. So if I go and click on that one through there, it's saying, so realm trait discovered, our scrying has revealed one of the secrets of the realm, Bannerlords. This world's free cities make powerful allies. Rally of Lieges occurs 25% more often, which is this one over through here. And all empires gain +5 recruitment points. So we end up with more we can actually get from the Rally of Lieges. What this is as we get vassals and as we get special locations, they will then present every so often. And in fact, it's now going to happen much more often because of this particular trait that it's actually got. You can see down through there, next rally is in 11 turns, but available recruitment points have got 7, and muster the lieges at 175, which means bring it even further forward. I'm just going to go and close that one off. If we go and have a look at this one through here, at the moment I can go and get, this is a shock unit that I could go and buy. It's going to cost me 2 of these points, these rally points. We've got 7 in total we can bring in. And I also have a bannerman that I can bring in as well. Now these are from Eastwatch, which is like a vassal that we've got, like it's another Elven vassal. So we can actually go and bring those in directly. I don't know if I want to bother with it, to be honest. At the moment, I do want to get them. But I don't think I'll do it just yet. So we'll just have a bit of a look and see. Now, I do want to find out what was that. So this here is a lost soul. Okay, so this is actually just a lost soul wandering around. Ghostly presence is bound to this world until their unfinished business is put to rest. So moving a hero or ruler onto it will trigger a lost soul quest. So we can't do anything with that one. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't something else. There's a mine down this way. We'll just keep on sort of exploring around here as we go. And just keep on digging away at the underground. So new rally is now started. So I can actually go and grab this. The knight is useful. And I'll talk a little bit about why this is so tempting at this stage. Let's just go back up to our other... Actually, spells are ready to cast. So we do have constricting focus. This is going to be put onto the various mages that we have. We've only got 1 at this stage. Base upkeep per unit is 3. We are making 20, but we'll get more of that fairly soon. So we'll start this one, and then we'll bring more mages in. Tibera gained a level of renown, so her renown is slowly leveling up. What does she need to be doing with that one through there? So she gets a governor bonus here of the population requiring less food to get more level ups, which means we get more growth, which is really important. So she's an instructor. This hero aims to lead the most experienced force in the world. And so she's got, we need to rank up units in the hero's army. So she gets 5 renown every time a unit levels up in her army. And if she can lead a full army of legendary rank units, she ends up with another 200 renown, which will then take her sort of like, up towards the, to where she wants to ultimately be. Just go and close that one off. So let's do this combat, and I'll talk about the just how much RNG plays a role in the game. It does play a role, but not a very big one. So if we go and have a look at this unit through here, this is worth 305 points. It's got a couple of tier 2s here where we've got daylight spears. These are high siren units, polearm units, and again I can just right click on these to sort of see what they're like. So these are essentially I've got like special abilities that do come in. These use melee strikes. Now there's usually no random number at all applied to melee strikes. So if they can hit, they will hit at 100%. You can see down through there when I hover over this. See if I can keep it up. This one here is showing a melee strike. The base sort of to hit aspect is 100%. It's got to be within one range though, and it's then going to do 14 damage up to 3 times depending on what they do. So we know that that's what's going to actually happen to it with it in through there. And it also says that it's a polearm unit, so it does plus 40% damage to cavalry and large target units. So cavalry is going to be anything mounted, and large targets, we've got like bigger units, like giants and things like that. And so it just does a melee strike. It's a fairly simple sort of attack that it actually does have. There's nothing, it's charge resistant, which means if we were using knights or something like that, it's going to be able to defend well against those. It's got Dormant Guardian, so while awakened, this unit gains Awakened Guardian, giving it more retaliation attacks. Okay, so this is something that I don't think will happen in this particular game, but that's something that potentially could happen. Empowered by magic, so once per turn when taking damage, the magic attacks or spells gain strengthened. Okay, and we've got First Strike as well. So when this one's attacked, because it's got a polearm, it gets to attack first in any sort of attack. So its First Strike, it will do the retaliation attack first. Usually with swords and things, it won't do it. Like this unit here, for example, is another Dawn Defender. This is just a tier 1 defender unit, like what we have with those sort of shield unit. And in this case, this one has also just got a melee strike. Again, 100% chance to hit, but it does only 10 damage across the base. Yeah, and again, not going to really sort of do much. It doesn't have the First Strike or anything like that. This one here is a Zealot unit, a very, very low level Zealot unit, but it does have a magic strike. So this one actually does magic damage, and it does a fair bit of damage actually, this particular unit, where it also can condemn units as well. So anyway, that's the group that we're going up against. So there's no ranged attack with any of those. Everything is 100% hit. So there's nothing we have to consider with what they end up doing. Let's just go in and do this attack. I'll send in the main force, I think. Just do a quick save here. Oh, here we go. They don't want to do it. As your troops approach the band of mercenary guards, they raise the white flag. So we're hired by rich merchants to look after the gold vein. The leader of the gang, a daylight spear, explains, we expect to protect it from roaming scoundrels, not against a full-fledged assault. So yeah, we can either attack them, have no quarrel with you, leave in peace, or we are about to change your contract to serve me. So we can lose 107 gold. We've got 900 at the moment. You gain a daylight spear unit. The independent army will move from its location, clear the gold vein without a fight. Do I want to spend that for just having like a defender unit again? I don't think so. I'm just going to let them go and leave in peace, where we get a little bit of good alignment. Not that it really matters much. So I might as well do it that way. So sorry, we didn't get to do what we were doing. Staff of Radiance. Now this is actually can be used by Battle Saints, Warlocks, Elementalists, or Ritualists. But again, if I take this one, we then lose our the mount slot. So disables a secondary mount slot. So I don't want to make use of this one. So I want to just keep with what we've got. So I'll just take the reward, and that's now boosted us a lot with gold, and we now have the gold mine sort of unfurled. Eastwatch, this is actually where we can then do that banner as well, get the other groups. The other bits where random stuff does come in, if I go into this particular group, it comes in here. So if we have a look at the, and it's only the 2 hit, if it does a hit, it actually does full damage. And you can see down through here, the shoot bow is 110%. In this case, we've actually got, this is a champion, and so the champion has got Eagle Eye, the champion medal Eagle Eye, which is this one here. So +1 range on missile attacks. So we're getting sort of more in through this other side. It's a range unit. This one's also an elf, so we end up with the Honourable Fae, which gives us keen-eyed, so plus 20% accuracy on missile and magic attacks. So playing with that as well, and sharp eyes gives me plus 1 vision range and sensing range. But the keen-sighted is giving me 20% on missile and magic attacks. So missile and magic attacks are where the RNG kicks in. And so in this case, it would normally be 90% as the base level to get an actual hit. And so when we move around, we see what the percentage chance is, and different things will impact how that then does work. So we've got a range of 5 with this one because it's a champion level. In fact, all of these are champion levels in through this other side here, which is good. So they're heading up towards the towards legendary mode. So, and the promotion that they get at legendary mode is a longbow. Now, I'm probably going to want to get even more of these. This one has got a so the longbow, yes, does more damage. It's got a long shot as well, so it can actually do range 7. So it's very, very high range, but it really can't move when it's going to do it. So that's actually very, very useful. So we'll just go and close that one off. But that's so it's the range units essentially that end up using the RNG, and it's only for the 2 hit. Now I do want to go and pick this up. I'll move this one down as well. We'll just start to clear out this area, I think. So we'll start to sort of just move across, just keep the armies together. Hostile action, nope, cancel that one. So we would be moving into there, and I don't want to do that. So I just want to pick up this bit of loot, this chest. Yeah, see how this is now spawned? And now we actually see some interesting things here. So before, when we were looking at this one here, we actually had that base level there of 5, the one that was 2 there. This one here is now a wandering stack. So this one is now going to wander off. It's fairly strong, and it's going to go raiding. And it could raid each swatch. There could be something up here that it wants to raid, or it could decide that it's going to wander across. Well, actually, can't really do much against us because of these krakens. Yeah, this is water movement. So they're sort of stuck to a degree right where they are, but we're going to eventually have to clear this out. So I'm not sure what they will be looking to do. Alignment change, we've now changed from neutral to good. Produce the bathhouse. So this is now, everyone's now really quite happy. So we get now bonuses to production, draft, and food, etc. We've got good gold, so let's go and start to build up other things. I can get the Citadel now is boosted as well. This is going to then allow me to get, before I do that one, so the longbow is a tier 3 unit. So this is a the Honourable Fae longbow unit. I've got the Constrictors, the Bannermen, the Aspirant Knights. So I want to start to bring these units in as well. One thing we don't actually have is mages, so we're going to be definitely wanting to get mages fairly soon. Surprised we haven't, actually already got like the next one coming up. I think there must be something that slows down the research somehow. I'll start with a Constrictor, and I'll start with a Aspirant Knight as well, and another Bannerman. Maybe not. Let's just go back into the buildings in through here. So the Shrine is going to give me mana. It's only 2 turns. This one here is going to give me the tier 3 units. I think we'll start with the Shrine. Just go that way. But that's now that this is a happy city, it's going to be helpful. I can annex another province now. So I want to stop this city from extending out this way. So I can actually grab this one here now and pick up the Rainbow Clover. So when we annex this one, we get plus 100 relations with free cities and rulers, and we also then end up getting more happiness and more food as well. So so we definitely want to grab that one. I think I'm going to go with the Conduit, which is going to give me... Actually, do I want to do that, or do I want to get research? I might go with a research post, I think. Just because we probably will mainly get mana from, in the future. So and I've got Rainbow Clover down here I can grab as well. So, sorry, Rainbow Clover's there. Hasteberries are down here. All right, so we've got one of those. If we can get all three, if we can find silver tongue fruit, then we'll end up with all three of these. And if we get all three, we get plus 15 Imperium income, which would be nice. And if we just zoom back out, the things in this sort of like this gem shape is what we're looking for. And I'm not seeing much there. So silver tongue fruit I'm not seeing anywhere. But it would be nice to pick that one up as well, so we'll be on the lookout for that. Let's just go press page down and have a look underground. It's not seeing anything down there just yet. No, that's okay. All right, so that's where we are. But yeah, we'd definitely be wanting to get hold of that. So that's the edge of the map there. All right, and so we actually going to have to get back onto land again, and that's okay. We can certainly do that with the scouts. So we've now, we've activated this one and found a gold vein in there. Again, we can't really make good use of it. Yeah, so it's wanting to wander around. I'm just going to grab myself a drink of water. I'll be right back. The game really does have like a sense of adventure and sort of, it really does sort of feel immersive when you do play it. Chairman of the Honourable Fey Council approaches you. Greetings to the Queen. May I speak openly? It seems that there are rumours among your people that you have grown distant from them. How do you respond? So we can suppress them with force, which we don't want to do, of course. Throw them a feast. 172, I can certainly afford that one. So all cities of the Honourable Fey of your empire, affects only one of them. Gets extra stability for 6 turns, which is good. That's going to give us bonuses. Investigate the rumours. We do lose knowledge, and I don't want to be losing knowledge. And ignore them. And we don't want to lose stability, so we'll throw them the feast. Now, we found another thing. Arctic blizzards are revealed. So freezing blizzards rage over the realm's Arctic regions. So Arctic provinces are affected by Arctic blizzards. So all surface combat is affected by snowstorms. So if we do get to Arctic regions, and it's not affecting where we are, but when we do find them, there's a chance that we're going to have all sorts of problems. So all non-frosting transformation units suffer 6 frost damage and 90% base chance of all wet units suffering frozen. Now we can head down the track of becoming frostlings if we wanted to not have that affected. So that's actually really any wet units become frozen. Now that's something we could potentially make use of ourselves. Units in these provinces suffer Arctic blizzards. They cannot regenerate. So yeah, we have to be careful of the frozen areas. Spell ready, constricting focus. Now we've only got one mage unit that can actually make use of this. So we'll enchant that one there. But as we get more mages, they'll now all have this applied to them, which will then start to cost me mana. So I need to get on top of the mana. Hero leveled up. Now we've got this one here is army leader, all non-hero units in the army gain regeneration. I think I'll head that way to start with. And we've got to level 4, so we also unlock a signature skill. And we've been sort of choosing order, which I think I'll just do the same thing, to be honest. Let's go that way. And I've then got another one as well. And I want to start to head down one of these Knight. So I've got +1 defense, +10 maximum hit points. This one here is Berserker. I think Knight is going to be more where we end up going. Let's just go and hit this one at the start. Confirm those. That's good. So we close that one off. Direbear mount. It's only tier 2. Just take the reward. So I've just got a simple attack down that way as well. Actually, what I might do is, yeah, we are building up, aren't we? Yeah, we've got the constrictor coming. We need to get better draft to get these a bit faster. Actually, what I might do is I might use the Rally of Lieges now as well and grab one each of these. So I can get, it's going to cost me 160 to recruit to our own city. So we'll go and do that. So cost is 160, 2 turns. The upkeep is going to be, because this Bannerman is essentially a mage unit as well, it is going to cost me a little bit extra there. So let's just hire these 2 units. Recruiting, and so we'll just put them back to Chivalton. So they'll be there in 2 turns. Done. And so one army is being recruited at the moment, so that's the Rally of Lieges now sorted. That way we will be able to then start to flesh out these forces a bit more. Now we've just gone and hit all of these as well. Outposts cost less gold. We don't need those just yet. This one here is pacification. Destroying the infestation or conquering a free city gets a stack of 300 relations with all the other free cities. That's not bad. Then we've got the Astral Empire. So casting a combat spell reduces the cost of all other combat spells for 2 turns. That's another good one as well. And then we also have the Shadow area. So so gain 150 knowledge per hero defeated in combat. Again, that's good as well. We've got 285. I might get that. And I think we'll grab this as well. Now this one as well, we get road building. I don't need it yet, but I think that these heroes, we will come across them again. We've already defeated 2 of them. So we just keep on finding more and more as we sort of progress through the game. That way we just don't have to think about it. Call to Glory. So combat enchantment. Turns in, they gain extra morale. We'll just select new research. Now we can get the next tome. So we have the Evoker. Now this is sort of tempting to get as well, where we end up getting. So this actually Tome of Evocation is actually is going to then give us like Lightning Focus, the Storm Spirit, but the Evoker is probably the one that we want to be getting. We do want to get some mage units, and this is like a level 2 mage unit, which would be a nice one for us to go and get. Lightning Torrents. This sort of works with where we're heading. And ultimately it can work with the frost areas as well to a degree. Let's just go back through the other ones. Tone of Warding, not really interested in that one so much. Although we do get Static Shield. It's not bad. Yeah, that's not terrible. The Blood Rite, this is sort of outside of the RPG, like the roleplay that we're wanting to do. Same with the Hordes. Same with the Warband. Pyromancy would be tempting, but it's not really what we want to have. I would, if I wasn't, doing roleplay things, I probably would have look at that one pretty solidly. Tome of the Rock, not really. It's more dwarf. Enchantment, again, more dwarf sort of style. Alchemy. The Afflictor, this is more poison. I don't think I want to do that one. Tome of Roots, I don't really want to do. Evolution, that's more, goes to Draconian. Tome of Beast sort of does work, but I don't really want it. This one's one I am interested in as well. The Convent, the Healing, the Lesser Light Spirit. And then we get the bigger Light Spirit eventually with that one. The Zealots as well would be interesting. Necromancy, no. Cryomancy, this is where we can start to get like Frost Witches, Frost Blades, etc. That would sort of head us towards Frostlings. Get the Snow Spirit. So this would actually work, depending on how much frozen stuff we have to fight in. That would actually be fairly interesting. Tempting. It's actually tempting because of the map. We've got Evocation down through here. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Which way do we go? This one really would enhance what we end up doing. God, it's so tempting to go that way and become, sort of like more frost elves, I guess. So actually, Miguel is saying, are the units pre-established, or does the game generate plausible units from a pool of traits and abilities? A bit of a combination of both, the way it sort of works. When you choose your faction, I'll show you actually when we get in again. Actually, I'll have a look. Yeah, I can answer that one. The White Witch, for example. When we actually, I can show you here. So this one here, if we get this White Witch, the White Witch itself is a standard style of unit, and so it's actually got like some elements to it. Gains access to the Battle Mage unit. So Battle Mage units are magic users who specialise in ranged offence and weakening their enemies. And this one here also gets us, essentially, this frozen counters burning. So if we had burning and we applied frozen to something, it's going to then stop burning. So this is why we don't really want to go, if we're going to go burning, we won't go this way. But I'm thinking we could go this way, even though it's a shadow area, just because we know the world is geared this way as well. But this is a Battle Mage unit. Again, we sort of see it from up the top there. But where it's different is we now actually have, when we get this is going to be of our faction, and so they're going to be of the Honourable Fae. And so the Honourable Fae are the elf unit. So this is a White Witch base unit being applied to the chassis of the elf unit that we had set up at the start. And so we have, for example, the Arcane Focused. So magic attacks are going to deal plus 15% damage. So this White Witch is going to do more damage than a standard White Witch is going to do. It's going to be keen-sighted, so it's going to actually be able to have more accuracy when it actually does fire its frost bolts at something, and it's going to have sharp eyes, so it can just see further away. It's also, the culture is just going to be feudal monarchy, back and through here as well. This one here is, certain units can promote into higher tier ranks. I don't think this one will. We've got druidic terraformers as well, so we do start with extra bits and pieces. It's not really going to worry us so much. Starts with an extra elemental unit, so we did actually end up with a different one. And then we've got Fabled Hunters in there as well. So this one here, we've gained 75% resources from clearing an infestation. Units regenerate an additional 5 hit points per turn. So that's essentially what we started. We started with an extra range unit. So, but in this case, the White Witch is something that I would be very, very interested in getting. I want to get an actual mage unit. And at the moment, for me, the choice is really Cryomancy. We've then got Evocation, where the mage unit here is an evoker. And so, again, we have the same Honourable Fae abilities being applied to it with the elves, with the lightning bolts. This one then does lightning bolts. We end up with things like lightning blades as well, where we can electrify different units. If we go back to the other one, I've got frost blades here. So this can be applied across the board everywhere. I really quite like this. And I'm thinking I'm going to go that way more so than this one here. I was thinking of getting this guy here. This is a support unit. It's not actually a mage unit as such. And so I've already got one of these which does healing. But no, I think we'll go frosting. I've now convinced myself that frosting one is the way to go. It is a shadow area, so it's going to take us into the shadow affinity, like another +2 into shadow, which is sort of not where we're heading. I did want to sort of play good, but I can still sort of play from the shadows essentially with this one. But we may end up going frostling with this. So let's go and select this one. So that's now the next Tome of Magic, which then allows me to then pick up different things. So I will go and grab the White Witch because I want to start to introduce them into my army. And so we have to research that one. It'll take 4 turns to research, and then we can go back across to our city and then build them from in here. So ultimately we'll then sort of start to be able to pick up the White Witches into what we can then go and build. So playing as a feudal society, if we have a look and see what we got, the feudal society has got like level 1 archer units, level 1 defenders, and level 1 scouts. At level 2, when we get sort of like the next level of city, we can then get knights, bannermen. Constrictor came from another pack, so we ended up sort of researching that one through there. So again, we've got an Honourable Fae Constrictor, so we're just building one of those at the moment. And then eventually we can get the longbow when we go to tier 3. But in the tier 2s, we'll now end up with a White Witch appearing in there as well in 4 turns. And so I'll probably end up, I need to get better drafting. Like this, the draft here is quite slow. I can hurry the production here, which might be worth doing. Yeah, I might do that now, actually. I don't know. I'm in no great rush, so no, I won't do that just yet. So I'll leave that one there. But it's the game, like depending on what choices you make with those tomes, you end up with like different styles of armies and things. So you end up with some prearranged depending on the faction that you choose. In fact, if we go back into here again, and so you'll see that this is the Honourable Fae. The Honourable Fae are a feudal culture, and so the feudal units have got low unit upkeep and powerful cavalry units. And for monarchy, we end up with other different things as well. So the ruler gains Monarch's Dominion. Monarch's Dominion is then going to have other aspects of it. So these are all, again, unique things. We could have chosen different cultures, but this is what we chose. So in combat, activates the For the Monarch on friendly units, which is going to then promote their defense and resistance. While Army Leader, all the units in the army with the For the Monarch cost less, like 0 upkeep. And so in this case, anything I put with Tiberna is essentially going to end up costing me no upkeep at all. So I'm going to ultimately end up with powerful stacks with her because it won't cost me anything to keep them with her. So again, just looking at the monarchy aspect, this unit gains +1 defense, resistance, and 10 damage. So anything within that Monarch's Dominion essentially is going to be the way that one sort of then does play out, which will be nice. So we've now got this one's now found an iron deposit there. Not that we really need it. I might just wander further afield up this way. Just coming sort of chomping away at what we can find in here. That looks like it's frozen. Yeah, frozen waste. This is where the blizzards will then take hold. So going that way is going to just give us a bit of an advantage when we do play the game. I'm going to march. This one here has got no movement. Well, technically, I can actually hit it with this. So I can actually use that one. Actually, no, it's going to take 6 movement to move that one down. Let's just move this one down into here, just so we can keep on sort of having a bit of a look. So I'm going to move this one back onto the map. I shall go this way and just pick up this. This thing's now awake and spawning units. And it will come attacking us, so we're going to have to clear these out. So there's a phase to the game before we sort of start to really attack the enemy that we're going to be attacking, like the environment is going to come up back against us. This is going to be a hard one to clear out. We've actually now found Carissa the Red. Now, Carissa the Red is from Age of Wonders 1 or 2. I can't remember which one she is. But she's in charge of the orcs. Now, we're playing a teams game. So she has found us somewhere. There's a little symbol there. I don't know if she's come from there. But she's like a wizard king. And she's got enthralled orcs. So she's got like an orc group. They're barbarians, ruthless raiders, and cannibals. So fairly nasty orcs is what we're going to be finding in through there. We don't know where her throne city is. She's a revolutionary diplomat. It's going to be her personality. So in this case, if we weren't playing already in a teams game, which means we're in perpetual war, this is sort of how she would then react to us. So it informs how they respond to actions of other empires. So she likes empires with multiple races, likes empires with vassals, dislikes empires with a larger domain, which is what we've got, dislikes empires that trade grievances. We don't do that yet. Informs their behaviour on the strategic map. So yeah, blah, blah, blah. That's going to be okay. Anyway, so she is... now we're coming third. Now we can start to see the rankings. So of the 5 players, we've got a military ranking there of 3, expansion ranking of 3. So someone's actually more expansive, like 2 are more expanded than what we are, which surprises me because we've been expanding very, very well. Magic ranking, we're coming 4 of 5. The economy ranking, we're coming second, so we're actually making good income. And diplomacy, we're coming 3 of 5. So I think that's going to be fairly average. We can see down through here that we're at war with the 4 factions, and she's actually in the second group. So there's one other group. I think it was Necron that we chose for her. So I chose some of the old the old units from the the previous games, and so we're at war. We're at perpetual war with her. She's at war with us. Anyway, nothing much we can do about that one, so we'll just say goodbye. So there will be orcs somewhere on the map, and somehow she has seen us. There she is. So we now actually can see her in here. So she's coming out from the north, and we can see what she's got. We can see that she's actually going with fire. So she's actually got herself a pyromancer. That's going to be her battle mage. So this one's going to then cause burning. She's also then got a fury, which is a level 2 archer of the enthralled orcs. She's got herself a warrior, which is a shield unit, same as what we've got. Probably do more damage. The enthralled orcs will actually have ferocious, so they deal 40% damage versus via retaliation attacks. So once they actually lock in with a unit, they do more damage if you try to move away. So we have to be careful of that. Sorry, we'll just have another look at that one again. So the enthralled orcs, they're strong, so they end up doing melee and missile attacks, deal +2 physical damage, and single shot melee and missile attacks deal 4 damage, so they do a little bit more damage in through there. And hardy, they've got 10 extra hit points than what we've got as well. So that's the group that she's got. They've got a Sundra, which is a skirmisher unit, so for being able to get in behind other units. And then Carissa herself is back over here. So she's already picked up a Berserker unit, a big shock unit. We don't have any of the tier 3s at all yet. We're not even close. We are playing on hard mode, which sort of does give a bit of an advantage to the AI initially. So that's her there. She's level 4, the same as us. We might be level 5 now, I think. But she also is a spellblade, and she does actually have a charge strike. So she can raise the undead. So she's actually sort of heading into more necromancy as well. Now that can be sort of like just whatever the game has decided as you play. So it shouldn't start with that necromancy. That will be just something that she's found maybe. If we go and have a look and see what she's got. Yeah, so she's got a lot of equipment already that she's been able to pick up. So she's got this marking rod, this Tracker's Mark, Talisman of the Hound, Unleash the Hounds. Yeah, raise undead. She's found this grave calling rod, so she can raise undead units. So we have to be careful of her. She's quite strong already, as you can sort of see with everything that she's actually got. And so she's using this big great axe. This tier 1 Godir great axe is the one that she's sort of come in with. So that's Carissa. So we'll just close that one off. So she's the queen of the orcs. And we're in charge of the elves. So they're a little way away. They're not going to be able to really do much to us at this early stage. So we're back over here. We've reduced the shrine there. So we need to now just go and pick up something else. So we do actually have the Royal Smith. Now this one here requires 2 quarries to go and get this one. But it will give me +20 draft. And we get +1 rank for tier 1 units, which would be good to have. That I can get in 3 turns as well, but I think I might go this way, even though it's not boosted. Now I can hurry the production up there if I needed to. But I think what I'll do is, we're going to get this in 3 turns. I might hurry this one up. Just move that unit down with the others. Alright, well, you can see that there's water on the other side there as well. Before we move off, we want to attack this. This is going to be a very simple battle, so I'll just auto this battle. There was a tier 3 unit in there. See, we took a fair bit of damage there. Like, this is the sort of stuff we have to be careful of. If I really needed this unit to be healthy, I would just retry it, but I'll just close that one off. So the Shielding Helm is a tier 2, grants resistance. So we'll open the hero screen. Now she doesn't, the other one does have a helm, so I'll just go and place that helm there. So we'll confirm that one. Now I've got the Brigand's Refuge there. So this is a Bronze Ancient Wonder. And we get ogres from this if we sort of if we actually end up controlling it like properly. When annexed, we do get extra draft. This may be where it's worth getting another outpost. Let's see what's around. Now, if I create an outpost over here, this will then pay for the outpost, that gold mine. I can then just get the Brigand's Refuge as well. Let's take it. It's only a bronze, so this stack should be okay to take it. So if we go and explore, we can just see what we're actually up against. So before you can enter the battle, so we do actually have, I don't need help from brigands like you, I'll clear these ruins myself. So a rugged stranger grins, keeping a distance. These brigands laid out traps, help you find them, scratch my back. Now we can do this one as well. So in the incoming battle, revealed traps is active into the battle. Now, is there any reason? It's only just because we end up becoming better, more good. But you can see through here, this is a risky battle. So this battle itself is a tricky one. So the numbers are very, very close. What I might do is I'll just leave for a second. I'll do a quick save, and then I'll show you. We should still be able to get through it relatively well. Now, what I would have liked to have done is maybe bring this unit in, which I can still do. So I'll just go and bring out probably that unit there, I think. So just bring him out, because he doesn't do a lot of damage, although now he does have a bit of abilities. Let's just go and bring that one in. And now we'll explore again. And it will actually get the allow the bandit leader to reveal the traps, so we'll do that one. We now have a slight advantage. So in this case, we can see what we're going up. We can still remove ourselves from here if we wanted to. So we've got essentially just an archer, the same as what we've got over through here. So just a same sort of unit, but these guys here are feudal minions, which are not going to have any real ability. Their traits are sneaky. So they do 25% damage on flanking attacks. They've got a hideous stench as well. Not really going to worry us. So they're just goblins. There's a combat enchantment, so there is revealed traps. So several traps have been revealed in the map. If the unit moves over them, it will be inflicted with bleeding for 3 turns and reveal the trap. That's okay. Does not affect floating, flying, or ethereal units, which we don't have any of those. The one unit that we could have used for that one is there, outside. And so then we've got these bannermen. So these are support units. Again, we're not going to have any real problem with those. They've got an aspirant knight, so we have to be careful of that with its charge strike. We have a longbow unit, which is what we're going to be getting fairly soon as well ourselves. So this one has got the long shot. Again, I don't think we're going to have to really worry too much about it. And then we've got the level 3. This one here is a defender, so another defender unit. Again, it does have a crossbow, removes all negatives. Yeah, it's got an inversion as well. All right, let's see how we go. So we'll do manual combat here. With Smoking Scene, another point I like in Age of Wonders 4 is the UI is pretty good, not perfect, but really, really good, and it just keeps on improving all the time. So in this one, the traps we should see around the place. Some of them. Not seeing them anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, they've got mainly ranged units with just a couple of units that can actually then they do have this charging unit, which we have to sort of steer clear of that one a little bit. But let's just move our these guys up. So that one there can't quite hit that one. So let's move across this angle, and ultimately I'll be wanting those to connect up. Oh, there's a trap. Oh, okay. Yes, like caltrops. Don't know if that's... Yeah, there's traps there. Yeah, it's sharp there. So we're going to have to ultimately move up this way. So we'll break past that group of traps and then sort of work our way up. Now we do have 2 spells we can now cast, which is good. Now this Expirant Knight, what we don't want them to be able to do is to charge in. You can see even against this unit, it's not really going to do a hell of a lot. But this one here, it's a charge attack, gains 20% damage per hex travel up to 3 hexes. And so it ultimately can get up to 60% extra attack. So what I want to do here is just move this thing up and start to sort of constrain these a little bit. So let's move that one into there. Now I can move straight through here and get the bleeding as well, which I think I will do. I think I'll take the bleeding on with this defender and just to see how this one actually does work. I mean, I can, yeah, no matter where I go, I think I'll just take it. Now we're suffering from, we're pinned, we've got bleeding for 3 turns, we've still got Defender Monarchy, which sort of helps us a bit, and then we've got Hideous Stench that we're sort of now dealing with, where we've got resistance goes down, but there's only 2 magic units in the background there. So I'm going to move this one up, and then we can use this this sort of ranged ability in through here. So we have the big unit there is only a 45% chance. Now there was the question about where the RNG kicks in. This is it. So I'll maybe talk a little bit about how how this is working. Now, when I go, if I can always undo before I do anything else, I can sort of go and see things as I start to hover over. We can see that at that point there, we get a 100% chance to hit this one here, which means we're not going to miss. The other one's a 45. Now, when you have got any sort of ranged attack, I've got this one selected, so when you've got any sort of ranged attack, if I hover over that one through there, you'll see that the Javelin is 110%, so essentially as its base to hit aspect. Again, that's because we're playing as the elves, where we end up with another 20% on top of our normal amount. So our archers are going to be always better than anybody else's because we're playing as the elves. And so in this case, we've got 110% as our baseline. I do want to keep on moving this one up because this one is also a fighter unit, and so even though it's got like 81 out of 90, it's still going to be fairly solid. And the way it works with archery, like with any sort of ranged attack, is, and it doesn't really the game doesn't do a good job of explaining this, but there's like at 100%, I'm always going to get a full hit. There's another 25% hits where with the 70%, I've got another 25 on top of that, which will be a graze. So up to 95%, I'm going to be doing at least some damage. And if I'm doing something where it's got like an ability like to cause bleeding or something like that, I've got a 95% chance to do that. So sometimes it's worth just doing that one as well. And even if you've got a really low percentage chance, if your morale is really, really high, it's not there high enough yet, but if we end up getting it sort of like into the higher areas, there's also a base 20% chance of getting a critical hit, which means that it's going to, there's a 20% chance, even if it's only got like a 5% chance of hitting something, there's a 20% chance on top of that of getting a critical hit, which is going to be like a very, very good hit. So that's where the RNG kicks in, just with these things in through here. So I want to move up as far as I can. And if I then have a look at this one through here, you'll see that it says 100%. This one here, it's saying that, and you'll see that when I hover over that one through there, it's just a green line all the way across from where he is to where that one actually is. When I go to this one here, it goes green up to where the wall is, and then there's a red line. So something is happening at that wall, and then similarly through here, I've got another red line at that wall. If I press the control key while I'm hovering over it, it will tell me what's happening in here. And so the 20 damage that we're likely to inflict with this one through here is telling me that we've got Defend the Monarchy is making it a little bit easier. We've got the Keen-Sighted by being elves, so we've got a plus 20 in through there. But we've got a negative 40% because we're obscured by an obstacle. And so that's actually where the where things have sort of come back down. So we're essentially losing. Well, actually, we've got it's plus 20, yeah, and also sometimes it's going to be range. Like if I go to this one through here and do it, you'll see it's minus 25% for long range. So these are the sorts of things that you can, just by pressing control, you can see what the you can see how the RNG is kicking in and how it's sort of affecting different things. So in this case, yeah, really, like I'm just going to go with the 100 at this stage, just to start to do some damage in here. But again, I've got a 95% chance of causing some damage against these units at the back. So let's just go and hit this one. And so that did 14 damage. If we have a quick look and see what this thing does, so that one there does 27 damage. So you think, okay, well, why is it 14 damage when it's 27? Like it's basically half what it was supposed to be. And so the reason for that is that it's base damage that it's doing, and this is perfectly accountable with everything that does go on. So in this case, when we have a look at this one, we've got it's a physical missile attack that's coming in, and its baseline damage is 27 with what it actually does do. When I click on this unit has got 6 defense, and 6 defense takes off 47% of the actual physical damage. So that's why it was only 14 and not 27. If that was 0, it would have actually taken 27 damage. So this is where and again you can see exactly how different units work. Once you start to get a feel for what their resistances are, what their and again, we can see here the resistances are mainly going to be from warding for this particular unit. So they've got like a bannerman in behind who is actually causing warding. So this is this one adds extra to the resistance of this particular unit back in through here. So there's a whole lot of different things. There's all these different parameters when you play these battles out that you eventually get a feel for just what they all are. But it's actually it does play a big bearing in the actual game itself, which is very, very cool. Now I can move this one up. Again, I've got a 100% chance there. Now, what I'm looking at here is I'm wanting to get as many of the action points kicking in for what we're going to be doing. Now, I can also, before I do anything, I can move that one up to there. I get another 100% chance to hit this one in here. This unit here, I can move up. I've got 2 action points there, but I'm not actually, if I go into the, this is the spirit bolts that we're looking at, I get 100% there, which is actually slightly more. No, that one can go there as well, but I can go slightly beyond. So let's go and do that. Let's move that one across to there, which means I can hit this one at 100. And again, it's only going to do, there's a chance, 66% chance of causing sundered defense. The rest of them are not all that great. And again, if I press control, we can see that we're now dealing with long range as well. In this case, we're not dealing with long range with that unit there. Now this unit can move up to here and get 100%. If it goes to there, it gets a 60%. Move that one up, and I'll move this one up as well. I can move up so we can just see what we're actually dealing with. Now this one here again, if I look at the 60%, we've got, and if I press the control, hang on, where is it? Oh, 60% at the back here. So we've got minus 50% for long range, but we do actually have the, so I can actually hit that one at 60%. I can't see that one because there's, because this pillar is in the way. And so it says no line of sight when I press the control on that one. When I go to this one, I can then sort of see it's long range with what's going on. If I go to that one there, it's long range, but also obscured by an obstacle. So I can see around the obstacle there to get a shot there. I'm going to take that shot. So these are starting to be positioned where I want them to be. Now this one here, I've only got 1 shot here. I've got 100% against that one through there, but only 45 because this obstacle is now in play. So let's just go this way. Now we also have, this is our last unit that we can then go and play with in this particular round. And so in this case, I do have 100% there, but I also have some other special abilities. I've got Decisive Command in here, where I can actually give another unit another turn. So I'm going to go and give this archer another go. So I'm just going to go and right click. So that's now giving an order that you've now got another turn. So we'll just keep on sort of hitting this unit. And again, 100% chance to hit, but not going to miss. So we've already got this one down to 50% of its damage, and we've still got one more shot in here. Now I can jump and move to the back and use the web, which may, so I'm sort of half tempted to do that. 1, 2, 3, I could actually move into there and then web all of those. The trouble is we do actually have a very, very poor melee attack. It would stop this unit from being able to fire. That's all it would actually end up doing, because this one also can't fire if there's something with a melee attack. So it cannot be used when within its enemy zone of control. I think I'll still do this. So this unit, I can actually just go and do the jump to that position there. And so we've now sort of moved that one across. And so this one here can no longer fire. And I've then got a web. Now the web, I can actually hit all of those units. So it will do friendly fire if I go back. Actually, no, it won't. I thought it did. Anyway, we're going to hit all of these with the web attack, and this has got a chance to immobilize. So 60% chance to immobilize at base level. They can roll other percentages. These higher level guys will actually, it won't be 60% for them. Yep, slowed, immobilized. So we've immobilized this one. We've immobilized this one. This one actually managed to not have to worry about it. So that's a good start for us in this particular one. Now I've also then got like this unit in through here. When we have a look, this one also can't be used in the enemy zone of control, and similarly this one here. So if I can get one of our units in there, it can't do anything. Now we also then have this other unit through this other side. This one also can't walk out from anywhere other than through here. So this is perfect for us to use the tentacle in this position. So I'm going to summon that unit. And so this unit here now is now putting pressure on this unit. This can no longer fire. This can no longer use this. And there's nothing that can really move out past where we were. Like these are now locked in. So we've now completely constrained it. So we've actually now, by placing that unit there, we've stopped pretty much nearly all of their attacks. Except for this unit here. This is the only unit with an actual ranged attack that's left. Let's just go and hit this unit. Actually, I'll keep on going this way. There's a chance to constrict it. Yeah, let's just hit this unit. It's mainly the damage that I want to be doing. This will be here for 3 turns. And now these, again, I'm going to just lock in. And we've got the shield wall there. I'm going to be able to just smack through this one. So I don't think I'll hit it. I don't think I'll bother. I think I'll just put the shield wall up just to protect these 2 units. There's really only one unit that can actually, or there's 2 units that can hit these 2 in here. Again, this one can't use that. It does have this one as well, inversion. Removes all negative status effects from the target ally and grants a random positive status effect for each negative effect removed, which is fairly good. But it can all it can really use is its melee strike against this unit here. So we'll end our turn there. I don't think it can do anything tricky. So that's the one little attack it's got. So we're sort of crushing them in here. So taking that bleeding aspect was actually worth it. So even though that's been webbed, all right, so this one is now turned around, so it's not really a flanking shot against it. We'll just keep on trying to constrict it. this unit, which we'll be able to do big damage with. Now this one here, I can just keep on moving around. I can't use the web anymore, and I can't really do anything other than just do a stab, which is not going to do enough damage. So I'm just going to go and I'm going to move back to here, which will then give me 2 shots using this. So I can actually just go back into this other position. And we do have another shot, I thought. Yeah, we've got this as well, this focused evocation, which I could make use of. Chance to sort of stun an enemy unit. But let's just go and do some damage in there. I'll do the 100%. We've brought the defense down. In this case, I'm going to now move this one up to kill off this particular unit. Now it's still going to block off anything that's trying to get through this other way. So he's now killed off those 2 units. This ranged attack. Now I've still got 60% there without moving. I think I'll take that. If I miss, I'm just going to hit one of their guys. The greys and 2 grazers. That's still okay. And in here we'll just do the big damage. And we get to kill this this knight off. Now this one again is sort of constrained because of where it is. Now we've only got one more turn with this one, so this is only going to be around for another phase. I don't think it tells us how long that's going to be there for. Oh, combat summons for 2 turns. So we've got one more turn worth of combat to go with that one. I do get a fairly good attack against this one, but I'm still just going to go and defend. Put the defenses up until we can sort of really move in. So we'll end our turn there. So we're making use of the 100% as much as we possibly can. That one's still just doing a little bit of damage down that way. So this is our last turn with this. 100th Monkey saying, for what it's worth, according to ChatGPT, the charge bonus per tile is calculated from the position at the start of the turn, not the position after a move. Yes, so you can move slowly up if you need to and still get the charge bonus. So we've done that one. Now we need to move in. We can kill that unit off, or I can move back in around behind and start to hit this unit, which it still leaves that unit where that is. We do have a hunt. We should get the kill here. Yep, so that one's now gone. And in this case, we've got an 85% chance there, 20% there, 60% there. So I'm going to get 3 shots in here. Now I should have this command is going to be back one more turn. We can then make use of that. I've also then got this focused evocation. There's a 64% chance of stunning that one, 47 that one, 97% chance of stunning that one. Again, these don't really matter that much. So let's just go back with the normal bolts, 85% chance. I've got 2 shots there. I'm going to take this one in because I definitely want to be killing this one off. And then we've got the shot in here as well, which will stop this one from being able to do anything. I've still got a nice clean shot through there. I'll have to move these archers up at some point. So these you can see have now hit that top rung, so they're actually getting the critical hit chance, and they did get one of those shots was a critical hit. So we can kill this off now. So in this case we've just gamed the system. We've gamed what we end up getting. Now it's got slip away, unfortunately. I didn't realise that. I should have checked that. So it's now in a position where it can then do some damage. This unit can no longer fire. Yeah, and we've actually used up all of our forces. So this one will get a shot against this one and actually cause a bit of damage. Let's just end our turn. Yep, so this is now, because that one went away, we no longer have what we could do there. This one's now trying to get away to do another shot. Alright, so we didn't get it all our own way at the end there because the blocker we had there was awesome. Like, it really did sort of change things. It's a 100% chance to hit this one, so yeah, I can kill that one off straight away. Let's just get rid of it. This is the most dangerous of their ranged units. And I'm just going to move this one down. And again, depending on where I go, I can't really sort of see anything there. %45 chance to hit. And no chance there. If I move to there at 70% with only one shot, 70% chance there with one shot. I'll take this. We missed, so we'll now take the 70%. Got it. So again, we're just using those percentage chances to try to do better. And we can now lock this one in. This one's its morale is falling, so it's likely to fumble. And again, we've been able to lock it in. Now, if this one runs, there's no benefit for me to stay in the fight with this. If it stays, its morale is very low. You can see it's sort of ready to run. So different things will affect their morale. Just end our turn there. Oh, hang on, yeah, so 100th Monkey is saying what I meant is if you're close to an enemy unit and you move away to get more of a charge bonus, you won't... Yeah, okay, yes. Yeah, thank you. Which is actually fairly handy. This one's running. You wish to claim victory and win the battle immediately. There's no reason to go after this one. There is a reason for us to go after the heroes, but not against these. So I'll just go... Just to claim and win the battle immediately, yes. But we played that one fairly well because we made use of all of the limitations of the ranged units, and we maximised what we could then go and do. Even moving that unit through the trap initially to be able to, in picking up bleeding, certainly put us into a position where we then locked them in. So we took a bit of damage, but overall very, very good, I think. I'll give myself a pat on the back for that one. We did pick up the Rod of Inversion. Now this is actually really handy, so I'm going to open up the hero screen and give her that. So we'll confirm that one. Great. Alright, the Wrath and Mutiny, the Aftermath. So after dealing with the den of bandits, you search the ruins. You're quickly joined by the former bandit leader. The stranger sighs as she sees the bodies of her former comrades. Shame, yeah, blah blah blah. Garner the Charger leads you to a room filled with bandit loot. Tadar will leave you to it. She quickly fills her pockets with golds and attempts to leave. So now, as a result, you will gain the hero item Lethal Frostbringer. This is actually ideal for our warrior unit. Like, this is actually very, very cool. So strikes, yes, and this will allow me then to use a mount with the other unit, which at the moment we've been constrained because of lack of equipment. So allow your soldiers to loot what they want. So all your units in the current army gain extra morale for 12 turns. Don't really need that one. Claim all the loot for the Empire. 203. I could use a bold leader. So we get Garner the Charger. What's this one here? This one is a hero. Yeah, it's only into the recruitment pool. It means it'll cost us nothing to get it, but I don't need it. This one is actually a Industrious Governor, Champion, Gifted Elders. So this one has come from one of the Archon, like the undead Archons. So I don't want that one. I'm just going to claim all the loot for myself. I want to just specialise in elves, to be honest, in this run. Now the group that we have, he can now just move back to his little faction, and we just have to move this one back out as well. So we have this control But if I go and claim that area there, now what I'll do is I'll just go back into this other side. So that one there is founding and absorbing cities. This one here is outpost costs less gold and takes less turns. So I'll grab that one now and close that one off. All right. That's good. So we've got that one done. So we'll now just go and finish this one off next. Now this is actually technically inside our territory because if we have a look at that one, that border is now giving us good healing. This unit here could make use of that. Bang, in we go. So this will then heal up a lot better as well. So that's helpful. We've still got this constrictor. That's actually already moved. Remains have been collected. Again, just put into our crypt at this stage. Produce a constrictor. Yeah, we've got that one. Can grab another province. So in this case, I'm going to go and get a conduit here to pick up the hasteberries. So the hasteberries are going to give me a extra draft, actually, which is good. So it's going to mean that we can then build units a bit faster as well. So hasteberries acquired. That gives me, I just need silver tongue fruit now to find those. That's good. So we evacuated that area, didn't find anything with it. Let's move across this way. There's a cartographer. We'll see part of what's down through this other side. There's another way underground up there. So we'll have to go and clear all this territory out. Leave that one there just to heal up, and we'll end our turn there. Okay, so Miguel is saying, how is diplomacy major part of the game or just peripheral? In this game, nothing at all, because we're playing a teams game, so we don't have diplomacy in this particular game. For a standard game, like you can see that we've got Carissa up through here, for example. And the way it works is it's simple, but still can be meaningful. And so if I go and click on her, as if we're going to actually go into diplomacy, you can see there that you've got like different levels, so it's not very complex. You're either war, peace is your default, except for teams games. Then we've got a defensive pact, so you can sort of enter one of those with them, or an alliance. We actually can't do anything other than just say goodbye because of the teams area that we actually have. But what's interesting with the game, and they've sort of introduced this over time as well, is to give the AI a bit of a random personality when they come in, so that they won't play the same each time. That you can set them in stone though as to what their personality type will be. Actually, no, they are always there, I think. Anyway, this will then sort of give them an aspect of who they are and what they're interested in. So they're interested in gold, and they're also interested in hasteberries, as an example. So this is something that is to do with the personality of the enemy AI. And so as you come back through, you'll see there that the Empire relations have got they're indifferent to us. And so the active modifiers are that they actually like us at like on a base level. If I just come back through the alignment, determines how free cities and other empires see you. We're actually fairly well liked overall. So there's a plus 100 in through there. Passive modifiers, we do have the rainbow clover, which also increases it. We've only just met, so for 8 turns there's going to be a bit of a negative, and we are at war, so there's a negative 200. But when you add all those things together, she doesn't hate us as such. When you're playing a standard game, like where you've actually got diplomacy, it goes from plus 800 to negative 800 as the maximums. Once you start to get down past about negative 400, you're really going to have a struggle to have any sort of peace with somebody. And so and that works very, very well, depending on your actions, depending on the alignment that you have, depending on how close you are to them. There's a whole lot of different aspects which actually end up affecting the way that diplomacy is then run. But they also then have their own in this case, this one here likes units that have got different types of things, like multiple races, vassals, etc., etc. And so this will then also have a bearing on what they think of people during, like, when they first meet them, and that will change as well. So it's actually it's done well. It doesn't get in the way. It's not like a major feature of the game, but it does actually allow you to manipulate to a degree with what does go on. Also, you've got diplomacy with your other, like this is an independent city. And if I go and actually click on those, just click on that a second time, they also then have what they think of you, how much they like you. And so in this case, we've got a relationship with them of 350. And so we've got different modifiers into here. So we're sort of slowly sort of making them more and more positive towards us. And so at the moment we've got a vassalage, but we have different levels of vassalage all the way through. And in fact, even this one down through here is denying tributary. This is still a vassal of ours, but would not give us anything. And so we want to get up to this top level here, where we end up with sort of like flourishing vassalage, which we then get a percentage of their income. So the vassal income at the moment is just 3 gold and 9 mana is all they're giving us, which is not a hell of a lot. And so in this case, they're our own faction, but so this matters when we meet independent cities. So we've actually sort of got the Pact of Vassalage, we've got the Rainbow Clover, the alignment they like with what we've got. We're the champion of their people. They're the same elf faction as what we are. Hero recruited, so plus 50. I think it's from the Rally of Lieges, maybe. Ignore sect claims. Now this is their negatives. I wanted to block them off. I didn't want them encroaching into the territory that I want to ultimately expand into. So I did actually cause some issues for them, and I've got negative 150 relationship with those other bits and pieces. But overall, 350 is good, and so we end up with allegiance per turn is going up by +1. 5 more turns, we then end up with bonded vassalage, where we end up with more percentage of what they're then going to share with us. So that's sort of the way that one works, which is solid. It's good. So, but that's the only one we've found so far. Carissa is still moving down. I don't know what she's up to just yet. She's still a long way away. Negotiation successful. Yep, so we got a little bit more through there. 30% of their income will now be what they provide us. White Witch. Select new research. Frost Arrows, definitely want to get that one as well. And so I'm going to go back into, actually, what have we got in here? We've got this is the Rally of Lieges that we just picked up. And so these are 2 units from the Honourable Fae that we just grabbed. And so again, these are going to sort of work in our favour, having those coming through. Just move those across, move them down. And so we've got the Aspirant Knight coming. And now we'll go back in and get the White Witch. And now you can see we're now getting we've now tightened up we can get things much, much faster. I'm going to go with more archers as well. Probably end up with 2 White Witches, so I'll just get a few queued up. These are only tier 2s. And I can hurry the recruitment of this next one if I wanted to as well for 140. I might as well do it. And that's just going to give me the Knight. So I've got another Aspirant Knight. One thing they've changed is the amount of movement. It's everyone on the surface other than their flying units, it's just got the same base movement. So the Aspirant Knight here moves at the same rate as the Bannerman. March down that way. So we'll bring these across and then they'll join up with the other army fairly soon. Okay, so we've got, yep, that one is right. Area excavated. So we can now start to sort of have a bit of a look through. Let's just move across. It looks like the southern area of the map is controlled by us. So I don't think we're going to find anything back out this other way. Borders that down that side. So we've got the so we've now healed up a lot because we're inside this terrain. And so what I want to do is I do want to go and pick on this particular unit. This is an easy one, so I'll just go and just destroy this one. And I'll just do auto combat here. And again, no real dramas. We went up another level. That's good. Just go and close that one off. Now, if we go back and have a look at the provinces, we have a province in here with the gold mine. We have this one as well, which is essentially ultimately the Brigand's Refuge, which counts as a research post. So if we're not in its, we don't have it inside our city domain, but what I can do is I can actually go and build an outpost in here. So I can actually just go and build the outpost for 38 gold. So I'll go and do that. So next turn we're going to have an outpost, and then I can use the outpost to extend up. Now what's that? That's more rainbow clover back there. Gosh, that's actually worth having a look at. You know, that's actually more valuable. Could have done that. Yeah, I'll probably end up with a few different groups here, because I'm thinking the rainbow clover is actually more valuable than this ultimately. But we can go and get another location up in here, for example, but we don't get the benefit of the mine. So the mine will pay for the outpost. Now, even though I've got one rainbow clover, actually maybe I don't do that. Maybe I still just go back this way. We've already got rainbow clover. All are leveled up yet again, so we've got so we can keep on moving down this way. So we've got the withering magic, so attacks and debuffs abilities inflict a +1 status vulnerability for 3 turns. It's good for us to sort of start to head down these ways. But I wouldn't mind getting the extra hit points. I might just go that way. Confirm that one. Close that one off. And actually, one thing I do want to do is go back to this unit and change this over. So we have the lethal Frostbringer. So I'll get rid of this javelin and put this one in instead, which then opens up the mounts, and I can now go and put the Blessed Dragon mount and give him flying. So we can now fly around. We don't have anything else in through here. We'll just go and confirm those. So that now makes him, he won't have the javelin anymore, but he will actually now have this frost blade. So now because he's flying, he will actually ultimately be able to have a little bit more movement than the others. I'm tempted to grab this. You can't put outposts next to each other, so I can't grab this, for example, with an outpost. Do I go that way? Or do we, maybe we head back up the other side. I'll just move him up. Just get them ready to assault. I'll just put that one in there for now, but we'll ultimately end up with more units coming back into both of these groups. Now we've sort of seen everything we need to see there. Go underground up here. Well, I'll end the turn, but I've then got to get going, guys, so I'm going to have to leave it here. Yes, they're just clearing things out as well. Hitting the water, which is interesting. We're close enough to be able to protect anything that sort of comes our way. But I think I'll leave it here, guys, so thanks for watching, and I may get back later today, I'm not sure. Otherwise, I'll be back. I'll keep on playing this tomorrow as well, I think. I absolutely love this game. It's my favourite game. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later if you're around. Thanks for watching.